This is the only chain that's offering real utility, man. End-to-end functionality, front-end, back-end, storage, web hosting, social media apps, music streaming apps. ICP, the Internet Computer Protocol, is offering a real decentralized solution. It's about so much more than money or cryptocurrency.
The curiosity reaction, that's fantastic. Yes, that's
healthy. Basically, cloud is like a talking point to educate people on this migration that's happening from old school cloud, legacy cloud, to new school 3.0 cloud, decentralized cloud, sovereign cloud.
Say cloud one more time.
Yeah, right? Cloud, baby. Caffeine, dude, the potential for caffeine is just insane. I think of it like every single individual in the world could probably come up with an app, a piece of software that would improve their lives in some way, if not an infinite amount of apps for each person. And then the same thinking can be applied to every company. In theory, could think of 1 to infinity use cases where they could have a custom app designed. That's what's coming. Theoretically, every Web2 business can be approached like that, and you can offer them something much better, safer, that they own. How can you be getting a position now to take advantage of caffeine and all the benefits that ICP offers? Because there's going to be a window of time where like no one else knows about this stuff but us, and we have like God mode advantages in that window.
Yeah, you'll be thankful for people like Chris, because people like Chris are unusual. Most people are not ready. Most people don't want to be awakened from their slumber. They want that steak that they can taste in the Matrix, and they don't care if there's something else out there.
Not everyone's ready to wake up. Not everyone's ready to hear the truth, and that's okay. You don't have to convince every single person. Most of them probably aren't ready, but that doesn't mean they won't be ready at some point, right? They may come around in the future. So all we can do is like put the seeds out there. If they sprout, they sprout.
Yes, that's my job.
Than others.
Put the seeds out there.
That's our job.
You're about to experience an awesome interview here with me, Jerry Banfield, and Chris Yost. We're going to talk Internet Computer Protocol as the beginning, and who knows where else this could go. It could be anything. So I'm filming this live on YouTube and on Twitch, horizontal and vertical at the same time. And this is not financial advice, and we're not financial advisors. We do hold lots of Internet Computer Protocol, and we both create videos about ICP. So Chris, thanks for doing this.
What's up, Jerry? Thanks for having me, man. It's a real pleasure to be on.
Yeah, so to start with, how'd we end up here today? Like, how did you discover me, etc.?
Good question. Yeah, I started going down the crypto casino rabbit hole basically about a year ago. It's my first cycle. I'm pretty new to crypto in general. And I was kind of FOMOing into coins without doing my research. Kind of classic.
That's crazy. Who does that?
Who does that?
Nobody does that.
So I had bought some Litecoin, and then I came across a Litecoin to zero video with this guy named Jerry on YouTube. And Jerry gave me a huge wake-up call on the kind of questions that one should ask when they're researching crypto and buying crypto. Like, what's the team look like? What's the actual functionality of said product, said blockchain, right? And with Litecoin, it's like the team was fairly small, and in most cases, the teams for these crypto projects are like all marketing and hype, right? Less about the actual tech and functionality. And Jerry pointed me to ICP and the Definity Foundation, who is all about the tech and all about the utility and all about the functionality, and like almost to a point of frustration doesn't do marketing, which I actually appreciate and respect. But I started binging more of your videos on ICP. It didn't take long to get kind of sold on the thesis. So I want to say this publicly on the air. Thank you, Jerry Banfield, for putting the thesis out there so openly and freely and publicly and with so much tenacity and, consistency. I appreciate you so much. You changed my whole life. You changed my whole crypto trajectory. I've been obsessed with ICP since you led me to discover it last June. And it's like every day I'm more and more involved, more and more passionate, connecting with more and more people and projects, etc. So thank you, brother, very much. And one of your videos, you mentioned Bobby O. So you led me to him, and he like you dives really deep into the ICP thesis. And between his videos and your videos, I became a Maxi, like an ICP Maxi, in a matter of weeks.
Very good.
It was like I watched all day long. I'm binging ICP content, and I was like, this is the truth. There's nothing else like this. So much appreciated, Jerry.
I'm glad you can handle the truth. You're unusual. Most people see a Litecoin or Casp at a zero video and they're like, this guy's stupid. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So what's different with you, Chris? Why is it you watch that and you're like, oh, let me just think about some of these things?
That's a good question. And I ask that question a lot. I'm like, is it a personality trait thing in this ICP world? Like, are we all a little bit different? Mentally, like, spiritually, like, whatever it is. For me, I feel like I didn't have the bag bias. Like, being so new to crypto in general, I wasn't already like tethered or invested to certain projects. And so it was easy for me to look at things objectively and neutrally. And I just realized, like, this is the only chain that's offering real utility, man. Like, end-to-end functionality, front end, back end, storage, web hosting, right? Social media apps, music streaming apps. What other chains can do that?
Nothing.
Nothing else can do that but
fully
Google,
on chain.
Google Cloud and Amazon Web Services, and they're extremely centralized and come with their own slew of problems and vulnerabilities. And so ICP, the Internet Computer Protocol, is offering a real decentralized solution to those problems. So it just means so much for the world. It's about so much more than money or cryptocurrency. I try to avoid using that word almost to an extent because it's about so much more for our everyday lives.
I have that same thought. And I was wearing an Internet Computer shirt yesterday, and
Nice.
not on stream because it'd be different on stream, but
Sure.
they're like, what is Internet Computer? I'm like, I don't even want to say crypto, blockchain, or Web3 because people think about all these other garbage coins. That's what they think of crypto. The average person doesn't have a good opinion of crypto because they see the truth. It's just there to extract value from people. But then you tell them about, well, this is a technology that you can build in a secure environment. You can have a decentralized alternative to Amazon Web Services or Google. That's something that's like, oh, that's cool. You could rebuild the internet in a decentralized way. That's nice. Aqua says, I had Casper and a few others when I first saw Jerry's videos. I was never upset by what Jerry said, just became more curious. The curiosity reaction, that's fantastic. Yes, that's
healthy.
That's why I got back to wearing this green screen tube top too, because it triggers curiosity. The most of the crypto videos don't trigger curiosity. It's just like that. I love what you said about I didn't have bag bias. How would you define bag bias?
Having blinders on because you're so tunnel visioned in on one specific project for whatever reasons. Maybe you've invested a ton of time and research into this project, and that led you to put a bunch of money into it, and so then you are kind of forced to defend your position at all costs, right? And so you reject threatening alternative narratives to your own position, and that's not a good place to be because then you're blind to the truth. There's obstructions in the way. So that's how I would describe it. And fortunately, the only bag bias I've ever experienced is with ICP. So I have to check myself there too. I think we all should make it a point to branch out and check out other communities and other projects just so that we're not succumbing to this same thing that I'm describing, this bag bias, which it's pretty easy to do with Internet Computer because it's just so good and so far ahead.
It is.
But we should hold ourselves accountable and, try to see things from a higher perspective.
Yeah, and to me, the higher perspective is the technology, because as soon as you start with the marketing, that's different. But let's talk technology. I'm not loyal to internet computer. I'm loyal to technology that's advanced more than anything else. And it's amazing though how these people recently have been trying to start up these fake internet computers. And then Dom, who actually knows the technology, just dumps on their way of doing things in 5 minutes because, you know, they're talking about ZK proofs and you can just run this stuff and then have a ZK proof. And Dom's like, we already thought of that. You can't do it that way because of this, this, and this. But the masses who don't know anything about this, you know, get sucked into that. So to me, one of the most important things in crypto is who do you listen to? And Dominic Williams, to me, is the number one person I listen to in crypto. He's the one that really, reading his posts changed my mind about crypto. I'm like, oh, when you read Dominic's post, everything in crypto makes sense. Like before I found him, crypto did not make sense, except it was just, you know, ripping people off and intentionally confusing. But we read his posts like, oh, now it makes 100%. Sense.
He's a legend, man. And again, you led me to him with your framing of, he is the Steve Jobs of blockchain and cryptocurrency. And that's the well that you want to be sourcing your information from. You know, I haven't found many. I'm sure there are others that are on his wavelength out there, and I just haven't discovered them yet. I'd love to find others like him and learn from people like that. But yeah, for me, it's been mostly Dom that I've been learning from. And a lot of this stuff, the technical aspects are still over my head. I want to be
What's your background?
Upfront about that.
Like my background.
Yeah, I'm a non-technical. Go ahead. Sorry.
Like mine's criminal justice. I was a police officer, and I just self-taught myself marketing and content creation. That's my background. Like, what's your background?
Right on. Yeah, I'm more of a creative. I have more of a creative background. I went to school for video production. And I've been taking photos my whole life, making videos my whole life. So going to school, I kind of naturally fell into the video production path. I play music too, so that goes hand in hand with the rhythmic sense of storytelling and scoring music to picture. And so I'm a creative guy. And I've always been, you know, tech adjacent, I would say. I grew up gaming and but I've never built software, been like a developer. I've taken some like C++ and basic programming courses in school, but I've mostly forgot all of what I've learned by now. So yeah, mostly a content media guy. I fly drones as well. I take drone videos for fun. And so yeah, it was natural for me once I discovered ICP to just start harnessing my skill set in the media realm and getting this message out. Like basically doing what you're doing. You're one of my biggest inspirations, hands down. So just kind of taking your messaging and running with it.
Well, if I see you wearing some women's clothes in the future, I'll know what happened.
That's right. Yeah, I haven't tried that look out yet, but I dig it, man. I appreciate just being different. Just being different for the sake of catching attention is a good thing. We can channel that to our benefit, you know?
It is. So I'm glad you actually have applied your education to what you're doing professionally. So were you creating any crypto content or videos before you found ICP? And
Zero.
All right. So you started creating content. Well, yeah. How'd your content creation journey go?
Honestly, I've been a really shy guy for most of my life, and even though I'm in video production, I work with video crews, I mostly edit, so I'm on the other side of the lens, right? And there's almost like an anxiety about being in front of the lens. And about the same time that I fell into this Web3 stuff, ICP stuff, I was like, okay, it's time to get over that and get on camera and talk about this stuff, you know? And I realized it's a mind over matter thing. We have the power to do whatever we want to do, you know? And so yeah, I was like, it's time to get on camera and start talking about this stuff. And I just keep forcing myself to do it. It gets more and more comfortable the more reps I get. But yeah, I had zero content production experience as far as being on camera or being like a creator, public facing creator.
Well, that's
Besides,
awesome.
I do like slacklining and juggling and like fun stuff like that.
What did you say? Slacklining?
Oh yeah, slacklining. It's like tightrope. It's like tightrope walking. That's the idea.
Cool.
It's a 1-inch piece of webbing. You can string it up from like a tree to a tree or like a cliff to a cliff or whatever. And But anyways, so I would make videos for that, but that's different than like talking to the camera about something. And that, ICP is way bigger than slacklining or me, right? It like matters for the entire world. Like, so yeah, I've just felt a calling to help do my part in spreading the word.
Well, that gives me a lot of excitement because you can see a year ago, Chris found my Litecoin video, got into watching ICP videos, followed Bobby O, Dominic Williams. Sometimes we get impatient in ICP, but this takes time too. It took time for you to find the videos, and I was making them long before that. It took time for you to research and get into this, but
I watched the long ones. I watched all of them, dude.
Nice. I think there's a lot of people who are just discovering ICP, and there's going to be a lot of new people just discovering it, but it still takes time for people to digest. But you don't usually see people popping up and becoming a content creator just for a specific crypto. And I'm also happy to see you're getting paid for your work now. I'm happy to see that Gold DAO sponsored a couple of videos with you, or they did pay for one and they're going to pay for another one or something. So I'm very happy to see that. I'm like, good.
I appreciate that.
Chris is a great guy to do these videos with.
Well, thanks so much. Yeah, I wanted to bring that up.
And you're working with Cloud too.
Working with Cloud.
That's a Cloud shirt, isn't it?
It's a Cloud shirt.
I see that. Repping the Cloud.
Cloud is a meme for ICP. That's the idea.
All right, I got lots to talk ICP ecosystem. What would you like to dive in first? Gold DAO, Cloud?
Yeah. Well, you brought up Gold DAO first. So yeah, I started making tons of videos, initially about the network, ICP and Definity, but then I started branching out and doing like project specific content. So before Gold DAO, I started promoting, just getting on the phone with Terry from AgriiDAO and talking about AgriiDAO and what they're trying to do.
What is AgriiDAO?
AgriiDAO is a project on ICP that is trying to decentralize food systems.
Oh, I might have heard of that once, but I don't know anything about him.
Oh, you should check him out. He's doing really cool things. He's trying to it's hard to figure out where to start because it's such a multifaceted project, but for example, they're trying to put food prices on the blockchain so that they're like immutable, transparent, so that everyone in the world can see the same prices at the same time.
Oh, that would be useful.
That's not always the case, right? There's a lot of like price arbitrage and variation just because of the lack of communication and transparency. So, and Terry speaks on this so much more eloquently, but he's trying to make these things visible and accountable and like inherent all the beneficial properties of the blockchain, right? Like apply all those benefits to agriculture and food systems.
Well, I love
he's
that.
also doing stuff with freeze-dried food technology. Like he'll be tokenizing freeze-dried food products. So that'll be cool. And then he's also creating infrastructure for co-ops. And the idea is that anybody with a food project can start a co-op. It doesn't even have to be food physically. It could be like software for food systems or like marketing for food systems, like as part of a co-op. And these co-ops, anyone can join them and contribute and invest in them and like, be a part of it.
Well, that's a great example of like why you need ICP, because
totally
you hear all this talk about tokenizing this other stuff. It's like, if all you can do is put numbers on a blockchain and then all this other third-party stuff has to come in, the blockchain is basically unnecessary. Just make a damn Amazon. Put a website on Amazon or Google Cloud and put stuff up there. Like just having numbers on a blockchain, apps on ICP, you putting all that on a blockchain, then you like with that, you really need the whole website plus all the numbers and the pictures of the food. Like you really need everything to be on the blockchain for that to actually matter. Oh, and I want to acknowledge J-Babe on the Vertical YouTube said Dominic's voice sounds like Littlefinger in Game of Thrones. I'm not going to be able to unhear that now because I had never thought of that before, but now that you've
said
it.
Who is Littlefinger? Why am I blanking? I've seen the show.
He's totally
blanking.
He's the guy that's like...
Oh, yeah, okay. I looked him up. That kind of makes sense.
Dominic,
That's hilarious.
I can hear that now, and now I'm gonna think of Littlefinger when I think of Dominic.
Well, now Ruggy is gonna have to make a video with Littlefinger, but with Dom's face. And
Hey, somebody should make a meme coin called like Littlefinger Dom or something. Dom Littlefinger.
So that's a little bit about AgriiDAO. It's like applying Web3 ethos to food, and we all need food. We can't, like, literally every single one of us can't go without food, right? So
I have heard a lady in
better
like
sector.
India was able to just look at the sun and not need to eat, but I don't think that's the path for most of us.
They're anomalies.
I like eating.
Respect to the light. Lightitarian. What are they called? Not lightitarians, but there's a better word for those who live off of light.
Oh, now I want to know
Blanking
it.
on it, but
Hey Siri, what do you call somebody who doesn't eat and just lives off the sun?
I should know it.
I don't. It's a waste of time. She's like, I need ChatGPT. I'm like, what good are you, Siri? If you need ChatGPT, it's a scam.
Siri's slacking. Siri's honestly so far behind.
Breatharian. There you go.
That's it. There you go.
Good job, Siri / ChatGPT.
Siri's behind when compared to Grok and these LLMs.
Well, that's why Siri's just using ChatGPT. All right,
Are they now? I guess mine hasn't got the update because it is way behind.
I'm on an iPhone 16. It's got the AI in it. Awkward's is right there with it too. Breatharian. There you go.
Nice.
J-Babe says sun gazing.
I do some of that.
Yeah.
You gotta eat food though.
Yeah, you gotta eat food. You look like you do sun gazing. You got a good tan. I need to get some better color on my camera. I look more tan for real.
How's your yard? Can you spend time in your yard?
I spend time cleaning my yard. That's about all I do. Mow it. I'm outside playing tennis a lot though. Well, a lot. Like 3 days a week or so, 3-4 days a week. Yeah, that's right awesome. Out in there like 10 to noon.
Yeah, you're getting sun.
One guy played. He's like, "You want to play from 2 to 4 on Sunday?" I'm like, that sounds like the worst time to play tennis this week. Like maximum heat. D. Right, 2 to 4 p.m. Like, sure, I can handle that. All right, so we hit.
Yeah.
What about so Gold DAO and so many of my people in my OpenChat are so hyped about Gold DAO.
Sure.
So what do you think about
project
Gold DAO?
Yeah. So I've been doing a podcast with Mike ICP, and he was hooked up with Victor ICP. And Victor invited Dustin, the tech lead for Gold DAO, on our podcast. And that's what led to me kind of working with them. I was like, I could take this podcast. I mean, because Dustin's so eloquent and articulate with the way he lays out the project. I was like, there's so much gold here. No pun intended. No, I really didn't mean to say that. But there's so much gold here. Like, let's chop this up into shorts. And so, yeah, it took a few months for us to figure out like what we were going to focus on and like what a proposal, because I'd never done a proposal for anything. So that was a learning curve. And so yeah, I just did a couple shorts for them and they seem to be well received. Yeah. And I was hoping, I know there's some, I don't know how much we're able to talk about some of the drama, so to speak.
You can talk about the drama. People want to hear about it.
I just want to make it clear that I was planning to work in parallel with you and other ICP creators for Gold DAO. I didn't even know about the stuff that was going on with you guys. Like, I was already in talks with them, and then I saw a video, the
Gold DAO red flags
video you made, and I was like, oh shit, and now people are gonna think that I made these videos for Gold DAO directly in response to Jerry, which is not at all the case. So like, I just want that to be on the record too.
I was happy to see your videos. I'm like,
thanks, man.
They need to be paying creators and supporting creators in the community to do videos. My main regret is that I did so many Gold DAO hype videos for nothing. Like that's way too generous. You know,
sure.
FUD. If you want to do something for free, go FUD one of these garbage coins. Like that's a good thing to do for free. But,
right.
Yeah, we were talking at the same time, and I at the time I thought that I wanted to do these big longer term projects, and they're like, yeah, why don't you just let us sponsor a video again? I'm like, no, why don't you have me do several? But now I'm like, you know what? I like just doing the one-offs is actually better, because I was talking with Bobby about working with Cloud, and he very generous offer available there, but at the same time I'm like, I'm gonna have to make every video I do I'm not gonna have to, but I've already got my own meme coin. I already talk ICP.
Yep.
You can only take on so much before you're overboard. And it's like, if I'm like, Bobby, why don't you just sponsor a video and I'll do a video about Cloud? Like, that's gonna be better for you. I'll talk about it. You can have the clips from it. Like, I want to be able to maintain some kind of objectivity, and I just do sponsored video. You pay me to give a neutral / slightly positive review of something. But if I'm holding it, like you said, bag bias, I'm very aware of bag bias. Like, even when I did that Gold DAO FUD video, it's like, well, I still have tens of thousands of Gold DAO, like, hundreds of dollars, which is that's not that much relative to my portfolio. But it's like, I can't even FUD this completely, because I do still want it to go up. And if you've got, when you're holding something, you want it to go up, and the more you're holding of it, I want to minimize the number of coins I'm holding so I can keep some kind of objectivity, because I feel like I've already lost objectivity with ICP, and OpenChat. It's like, I see some of the downsides and I look at them for sure, but I'm holding and so committed to this point, I'm kind of like married to them, and it doesn't do you any good, to be careful how many wives you have.
Yeah, it's tough to navigate these situations, man. And I'm brand new. It's a brand new environment for me on so many levels. Like, just brand new to the crypto world, for one. Brand new to the content creation world, for two. Brand new to, like, for example, the proposal for Gold DAO, like having a public estimate. That's new and interesting to think about. Usually it's just me and my client, right? And so, yeah, with Gold DAO, and sorry, you covered a lot of stuff. I'm trying to address each bit, but it's tough to anticipate the relationships, like what obligations will come with that, right? And how much work will really be involved, and what you can and can't say. And so I empathize with you there. And like, for example, I super underestimated the amount of time that I would spend on the Gold DAO videos. Which is fine, because the main priority for me was to do a good job first and foremost, like deliver max quality, and make it accessible and affordable, and not like charge an arm and a leg. So, but it was like, I set my price for like $250 worth of Gold DAO at the time, thinking that the video would take me like 4 or 5 hours. And I put like 18, 19 hours into, and it's like, well, now I'm committed and I got to do a good job. And, I really want to. And it's not about the money. It's about like setting a precedent and a working relationship. And it's a trial, it's a trial run. So, I've done 2 of the 3 videos that the proposal entailed, and the engagement was pretty good. And hopefully they're happy with it. We haven't had any further conversations about how we'll proceed. But I think they're like updating their app entirely. And so they wanted to do an updated video for like, how do you stake? How do you take your rewards out? All that stuff. But we're like waiting until the app is ready for that. But anyways, not to go down too big of a Gold DAO rabbit hole or just talk about me. But
I wanted to talk with you about Gold DAO, because you just did, I'm happy to see them paying creators to do videos and collaborations. Like, that was my main criticism.
I appreciate it.
They needed to do.
You froze.
Yeah, your
froze.
Your internet might have dropped a little bit.
I'm back. That was weird. Okay, we're back.
That was my main suggestion.
Thanks for the support.
They need to be out there supporting people, and they
do. Yep.
When I'm doing sponsor stuff, I'm like, I'm gonna get this done as soon as possible, as fast. Like, I'm grateful that some of the EXE Windows team paid me to do a sponsored video. I mean, I cranked that out in an hour. They paid like $300 and some, and I'm like, I'm gonna do the research, pull it all up, and do the video and upload it all at once. And I'm like, I give myself like, you got an hour, like, do this.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, here we go. Bang, boom, pull all this up, play the game, hit record, say it all, upload. I mean, I've practiced so many times that I don't
You're
edit.
a machine. Yeah, you're a
But
machine.
at the same time, like, yeah, if I'm going to get paid to do something, we're going to deliver it as fast as possible. And,
Totally.
it, make it real and authentic too. But it used to take me a lot longer. And some of the sponsored stuff I did before took a while. And I'm like, nope, we got to do this as fast as possible to maximize the dollars per hour here. And then
You're
I can
smart
focus
for
on
that.
content. Anything else I'm doing, we don't have to worry about money. I make the FUD videos, play Warzone, hang out with
go.
you. Like, I don't need to worry about money. I can, just take my time.
Relax and
then when I do
yeah.
something, like part of the frustration with Gold DAO is like you taking so long to just exchange messages. At least with me, they for some reason were taking, 2 days, 3 days to respond to a message or a question. It's like, come on, my dollar per hour is dropping constantly.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot of back and forth required. And man, you're smart. You're so efficient with how you just knock it out and don't need to edit. Whereas our workflows are so different. I'm making like laid out like graphical videos with text and trying to convey specific messaging, and it's just a totally different style of video. And it's like apples and oranges. They're both needed and both valuable, right?
Well, I've taken a
I can
long,
get in the
slow
weeds.
approach too. And
Sure, yeah. Well, you've taken years of refining your craft, and it shows. It's paid off,
Yeah, the funniest thing, I got sponsored. They paid me $200 to do a Gods Unchained live stream and videos a few years ago, and
Nice.
I actually ended up spending like $10,000 on Gods Unchained cards off of that $200 sponsored live stream. I'm like, I think I did this wrong. I think I messed this up. I sold a lot of them back, but I still lost thousands of dollars doing the sponsored stream because they hooked me with a sponsored stream.
The temptation's real.
But then, the back and forth and the research and the deck building, it was fun though. Mm-hmm. Like, to me, the number one rule has got to be fun for my work now. Like, this is fun, just hanging out, talking with you.
Agreed.
And if I'm going to get paid, like, it's got to be efficient. If I'm not getting paid, it's got to be fun. But I try and make it fun too. So tell me about cloud, because I know you've been into cloud for a while now. I've just seen cloud. I haven't ever.
Yeah.
I don't think I've mentioned it on a video at all until right now.
Cloud is a meme for ICP, right? It's been around for a while.
Years, yeah, like 2 or 3 years. One of the earliest
super
memes.
OG. That's right. Again, I'm super new to the eco. Want to make that clear. And I only know about cloud because Bobby started talking about it. Bobby kind of spotted an opportunity. Bobby, along with Eric Potter, another ICP OG, that's been educating like yourself and Bobby for years now.
And if you're on YouTube, they mainly post on X. So if you're not on
post on X,
you won't know who we're talking about. At least with
Potter's
Eric.
handle is integral_wizard. And then Bobby O is, I think, Bobby O_ is his handle. But they just, they made a good case, man. They're like, this cloud project is a meme that stands for what ICP is trying to do for the world, which is offer a decentralized cloud, a competitor to centralized legacy cloud, like Amazon Web Services and Google. So it's like we're going from a Web 2 cloud to a Web 3 cloud, a blockchain cloud, a crypto cloud. There's many different ways to describe it, right? So it's basically cloud is like a talking point, a conversation piece that can serve as a vehicle to open this dialogue up and to educate people on this migration that's happening from old school cloud, legacy cloud, to new school 3.0 cloud, decentralized cloud, sovereign cloud.
Say cloud one more time.
Yeah, right? Cloud, baby. So that's kind of the idea. I had a gravitation towards Bobby's content, as I said. And so it just made sense. It's kind of a cohesive movement that I realized I could participate in, that anyone can participate in to whatever extent they want. You don't necessarily have to hold the token to participate.
All right, question. Why would you
Please.
participate if you don't hold the token? Just wondering about that.
Good question. For me, it was a network thing. Like being able to be in a network with these guys that I look up to and respect and learn from on the regular, like to get a little closer to them and to find ways that we can collaborate and work together and figure out like who's the best at what, certain types of content. Like Bobby O does PowerPoint, like lecture style presentations on ICP, and they're super technical and like badass and great. And, you learn a lot from it. And he's always like telling you how it is, and like
Gonna be all over the place,
says a lot of stuff. Yeah, it can be all over the place for sure. He says a lot of things that a lot of people are too like reluctant to say, which I respect. But we just realized that we're like guys, if we create this cloud foundation, is what we call it. It's just an organization of like-minded people. Like we can really start building things together and figuring out how to divvy up some of the work, and it's bigger and more important than any one of us, and we can take it so much farther collectively than any one of us could on our own. So that's kind of some of the inspiration behind Cloud and why I'm so fired up on it.
I really like Bobby shared his vision with Cloud, and that with me, like the ICP's layer 1 and Cloud's layer 2, and then you can have your own meme coins or whatever for layer 3. But
That's
I also
an interesting model.
I'm like, I can only handle so much, like I'm already dedicated to ICP, and, working together with all the other ICP creators and any crypto creators with integrity to talk about ICP. And then I've got my own meme coin. I'm like, I don't think I have room for, I think one meme coin is my limit. I don't think I can, because I've thought about, I could make so much money if I just created meme coins all the time. Let's create little finger Dom. Let's just create a little finger Dom meme coin. We're gonna buy that and push it today.
Right, but it's at the end of the day, what's the real value there besides monetary, right?
Exactly, and it's a distraction too. You get all these, it's like dating a bunch of girls instead of having a wife. Like having a wife is a better deal in most cases as long as you pick somebody that's very compatible with you. And like that, I could make all this money doing something else, but it's a distraction.
It's about more than the money, right? So that's for me, that's very, very true with Cloud. It's about so much more than the money. And we're coming together to create value beyond, again, number go up for the meme coin. We're coming together to create education, like to spread awareness about ICP, the network we all love so much, right? And we realize that Cloud, it's a brand. It's infinitely flexible brand that you could just apply to whatever you're doing, whether it's serious or fun. Like I make juggling videos and I'll just put the Cloud in it because it's like looks fun, it's funny, but then I'll make educational promotional videos for Gold DAO and we'll put produced by Cloud Foundation on it. And so
double
it can be
dipping.
fun. Well, yeah, exactly. It's cross promotional brand reciprocity, right? It's promoting. We're knocking three stones, or we're killing three birds with one stone by doing this content. We're promoting ICP, we're promoting whatever project, Gold DAO in this example, and we're promoting Cloud. And we're bringing the networks for each of these separate projects together in this way. We're allowing like overlap to occur between the communities and just like get the frequency out to more crowds, right? So that's some of the idea there. It's about value, and value is subjective. And so lots of people scream from the rooftops like, Cloud, there is no utility, there is no real value, it's just a token. And it's like, no, that education is value. It's just some education is more valuable to certain crowds than others, right? But education about ICP, I'm sure you and I will agree, since you've made a career out of it, it's super important, super worth doing. And so Cloud just serves as like an aggregation point where we can, like-minded people can come together and build spread educational awareness, promotional awareness, and fun awareness, like having fun while we're doing it. Like memes is another really important pillar of this, because memes are a really effective way to get information and narratives out in this day and age, right? So we're just channeling that as a way to spread ICP to the world.
Well, thank you for explaining cloud.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for asking.
And I love the idea of like content creators working together and not getting scraped as much. Although the reality is, if I participate in cloud, it'd still be the same basic thing where, you know, the value I'm driving versus the value I'm getting is still greatly disproportional. And I've had that.
How do you
struggle.
measure it? It's like so hard to.
Well, if I have a tiny percent of the cloud supply and I get a bunch more people to buy cloud, it's like I still got, you know, a fraction of the value I delivered. I'm like, even with my own meme coin, I've less than 2% of that. It does limit how much I promote it because, you know, if $100,000 flows into JBBJ, then, well, you know, my bags might go up a few thousand. Like, other people have to. That's been my frustration with promoting these ICP projects too. All these people come into ICP, and then I promoted all these other projects for free, and people dump liquidity into all them, and then I drove huge amounts of value, and what did I get out of it? Like that's almost nothing. I'm like, I got pimped out in this equation. I'm dressed like I got pimped out today at least, but
I want you to be rewarded, and yeah, you deserve to be rewarded, you know? And
Cloud's the most generous setup I've seen so far for creators to work together. Like, you know, you got so many creators working together.
That's the thing. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of real talent that's came together, and we're all unique and different and have our own strengths. And we're like, some people are good at this, some people are good at that. There's like meme masters. There's like, you know, IC Perps, for example, makes brilliant cloud edits where it's like, he'll take like Gladiator or like, I'm kind of drawing a blank. He'll take famous movies and like powerful scenes, like The Matrix, for example, right? And put the cloud head on it, and then change some of the words so that we're actually like talking about ICP and Web3 narratives. And it's genius. I think it's an effective way to get information out. But then, well, I'm just repeating myself at this point. But,
all right, so
new
area.
Educational content as well.
Are you making your own coin?
No, I have no desire to do that.
Really?
Yeah, really. That's not my world. And I've been meme averse. I was pretty meme averse until I discovered cloud and discovered like the collective intention behind cloud and the potential, like what we can do with it, what we can build with it, right? But otherwise, I don't really care to participate in meme coins because the value is inherently limited to, you know, whether it's a dog coin or, I mean, I would argue that your meme coin is worth or has more objective value than most because you've brought in so many people, literally thousands of people, right? So it stands for something. It's a way for people to express their gratitude towards you. So that's sick. But like generally speaking, I'm not compelled by many meme coins, and I don't even know what kind of coin I would create. You know, it seems like a lot of pressure and a lot of like politics inevitably, and it's a war zone out there, as you know, more than most people. I'm like brand new to it, but there's sharks and piranhas out there, and your every move is scrutinized and being watched, and everything you say, people cherry pick little bits and pieces and warp the context to fit their malicious narratives to attack your project because it's doing well and theirs isn't, you know? And like, I don't really want to have anything to do with that.
I hate
I have no plans to make a coin.
If you do make a coin, you really should think the launch through. I hate the way I launched mine, where I initially bought a bunch of the supply about it, then I regretted it and I dumped all of it. Like, you know, nobody got dumped on. I literally bought first, several other people bought, waited, told them I don't want to do this. Let's not do this. They all sold, then I sold. And then it just took on a life of its own. Like I couldn't cancel it. I couldn't delete it. It was on Bob.fun. And then other people started buying it. Like, oh, it's at the bottom now. He just launched it. This is going to be great. And people just dumping money into it.
Yeah.
And I only bought 2% of the entire Jerry Banfield coin. And I'm like, I screwed myself on this. I could have just dumped a whole bunch of money into it and taken it seriously. And then it'd have a way bigger market cap because I'd be sitting there on the majority of the supply. But now I've got this meme coin where I have less than 2% of the supply, but I don't want to start another one because I don't want to screw over the people who bought the first one. Like,
damn, I wasn't aware of that.
This is just stupid. I'm like,
frustrating, man. It's a chaotic situation, and don't beat yourself up because how could you ever forecast the right actions to take? It's on.
Well, I just kind of launched it because I thought it'd be fun. There was somebody else launching a Jerry Banfield coin that had almost bonded on Bob.fun. I'm like, well, screw them. I'm going to get my own up first. So I didn't think it through about the supply and taking it seriously because I still don't like meme coins. I love the idea of Cloud, but then, Cloud's just another meme coin like mine where I'd have a tiny ass percent of the supply, even though it'd be worth a lot more. It'd still be another meme coin where I have a tiny percent of the supply. I'm like, can't I just get a coin where I buy 100% of the damn supply and sell 1% of it for a nice high price? And then look, it has a huge market cap and I have 99% of the supply. Like, I just want to do this right.
Yeah. I'm not the guy to talk strategy on that just because I'm so green. But
yeah, don't just launch a meme coin impulsively.
Thank you. I won't.
Think about it first, and you really need to buy your whole supply up first. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, what would you do in my position? I got this Jerry Banfield coin. I also, if I started working with Cloud, the Jerry Banfield coin, people would probably be devastated because I don't even talk about that enough. And if I started doing Cloud, I'm gonna have to push Cloud everywhere, and that's gonna only push so many meme coins per video.
I think if you were to work with Cloud, we would only want you to work for Cloud to whatever extent it would feel real and natural to you. Like, we would not want it to be forced or just like a forced paid shill by any means. So I guess, and again, I'm not really the guy for you to talk about this with, but maybe like an a la carte thing would work better for starters as you familiarize yourself with what Cloud is and what it means to you. But that's the thing. It means something different to every person. Unavoidably, right? Like, we all have our different focuses and visions for the future. And like when Caffeine comes out, for example, everyone's going to start building apps, and we're all thinking of ways we can partner with the Cloud brand and so whatever you're dreaming up, cooking up, Cloud can be applied. I'm kind of just rambling all over the place at this point, man. But it means something different for everyone. And if you're not naturally compelled to talk about Cloud, then please don't. Because I think that's what's different about us, is that everyone is in it because they want to be in it, and it's real. It's not just bought or faked, right? It's like a real organic calling for each of us, and it looks very different for all of us. So yeah.
Well, I do appreciate that approach with the JBBJ. Like, I just kind of mention it when it seems appropriate. I often don't mention it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'll film a video. I'm like, why the hell didn't I mention it? That would have been a perfect spot to bring it up, but I didn't. It's pretty relaxed though. So,
well, yeah, and considering the background with how you got in and how much you hold and all that obviously affects how much you're going to talk about it. And it's tricky, man. I honestly don't know how I would handle it if I were you.
Well, I'm really excited for Caffeine AI. I'd like to build out something like a Jerry Banfield NFT marketplace or something where you could buy the NFTs, and then I'd do one thing after another. NFTs would gate you into certain chat channels. Your NFTs, you could play games. Your NFTs would be available where you could post things and potentially get rewarded. Like, I've wanted to have my own NFT collection. I tried some crapper on, OpenSea, And that just, I'm like, this tech sucks. Like it's not good. But I want to.
Same is true on IC.
Yeah, I see some of these other ICP connection, and it's like I don't want to pay and then have to deal with their interface. Like I want to just have jerrybanfield.com and you buy the NFTs on jerrybanfield.com, you use them on jerrybanfield.com. That's what I really want to build with Caffeine AI is NFTs will be the main thing I sell, and then I'll just work on giving all of them utility, and then JBBJ, I'll take payment in it. It is frustrating though, because it's amazing how many people will not swap to JBBJ to pay for something. Like when I had the OpenChat channel cost 1 ICP, so many people joined it. I changed the same amount, 1 ICP worth of JBBJ, so many less people join it. Cause like, it's amazing how just like one little swap of a coin will stop so many people from participating.
That's right. Do you think that's just slippage or just...
It's people if they've never done something before.
Right.
Like when I go to play a new video game, my mind irrationally is way too against it. It's like, oh, this game might suck. It's going to be boring. It's going to be hard. It's like, just try a new video game. How hard is it? Like just
Yep. I have your game bias.
Yeah, and I played so many different games in my life, but still, they're like, come on, just play this game. How bad can it be, Mm-hmm. But I think with anytime like you really want to remove resistance for people, which is why I just put all my videos up for free instead of selling courses. Because bottom line, I want people to watch my videos. And you put it behind a paywall,
Respect.
and almost hardly anybody goes behind the paywall,
Mm-hmm. Well, I really love your website too. Just wanted to say that. I haven't
thank
seen
you.
too many others with a personal website like that. It's being used a lot, right? Especially for scheduling calls.
Yeah. 60,000 visits or so since I put it up, which is great.
That's amazing. I have a website I would love to get on the IC, but it's a lot more media heavy because it's like promoting my video editing work and drone work. So it's like all videos. So I'm assuming I'll have some trouble getting all of that on the IC at this point.
You could just
Might be a little
put them on
early.
YouTube because
Or do you
people
just
are used to
port
using
it?
YouTube. Yeah.
Port it
Just,
to YouTube. Yeah.
You do
Okay.
a picture and send it over to YouTube. Like that's why I've turned mine into a link tree. I used to have all fancier websites, and it's like, what do I really care about? Get people to schedule a call, get people to subscribe to YouTube. Here's playlists. Here's my X account. When I go to people's websites, like that's all I care about is the utility. How many websites do you go to where all you look at are social links on it? Like you barely even read anything or look at anything on the website. All you're looking for is the socials. Like, well, why don't we just cut all the other crap then?
100%.
But Caffeine AI
Minimize the
should
friction.
allow you to easily build a website like that. Whereas it's unreasonably difficult now to just get a simple. I had a developer build my website out, and now I edit the code.
Okay.
But I mean, I do
Nice.
simple stuff. Like I just copy paste sections of code in it. But with Caffeine AI, I'm like, I want a real jerrybanfield.com with NFTs that actually makes money, where you can play games, chat, and then
Let's go.
then once people are on jerrybanfield.com, like I have a real business outside of YouTube. So I am so excited for Caffeine AI. And even just like an NFT marketplace should be pretty simple to start off. Like it should easily be able to do that, I would hope.
Agreed. Yeah. Mike and Eric and I were on a podcast the other day, and Eric was like, it's pretty likely we'll have like 10 amazing NFT marketplaces pretty soon with the advent of caffeine.
But really, you shouldn't,
Super
like creators like you shouldn't even use the NFT marketplace. You should just Chris Yost or whatever.com. That's your NFT marketplace. If you want to sell NFTs, they're on your
middleman.
website. Yeah.
Right.
That's
Agreed.
what to me is exciting is the ability to finally cut out the middleman. If I can just
Right to
sell
your
NFTs
ears.
on my website, but then it comes back to, maybe I'll give people a discount if they pay with JBBJ, because again,
There you go.
so many people already have ICP in their wallet, but you ask them to swap to JBBJ, they're literally not going to engage. Maybe I'll just do a
extra step.
discount, like here 20% off if you pay with JBBJ.
That's brilliant. Incentivize them to take the step. And you could just have like a guide right there, like a step-by-step walkthrough showing them how to do it.
Yeah, like
Right
just
in their
a
face, maybe.
or like a button to go swap on ICP or something.
Yeah. Minimal friction. But yeah, caffeine, dude, the potential for caffeine is just insane. Because like, I think of it like every single individual in the world could probably come up with an app, a piece of software that would improve their lives in some way, if not an infinite amount of apps for each person. And then the same thinking there can be applied to a company. Like every company, in theory, could think of 1 to infinity use cases where they could have a custom app designed for them, right? And so that's what's coming. It's like mind-boggling.
Yeah, and Dom said that these are going to be on Utopia also. You're going to be those Caffeine
That's
AI
right.
on Utopia. And then when you can build on your own infrastructure with Caffeine AI and just connect that to ICP, it's like, why wouldn't a bank just use Caffeine to build out their own infrastructure and connect it to ICP and accept ICP and other things for payments, instead of doing something else.
Update it as you go. Like all the apps talk to each other. They've got the AI embedded.
Yeah, especially it's small banks. Somebody wants to start a new bank or whatever. I'm so excited for Caffeine because although I think caffeine is going to be really destructive to a lot of outside world stuff. Like people,
1000%.
when people realize like I just want to play poker with my friends, or I'll just generate a poker website on Caffeine. It's one of the clearest use cases. It's like now you've just cut out the need for an external poker website. You play poker with your friends. You're like, why don't I just make a referral system and bring some more people in? Like there's Caffeine has the potential to absolutely destroy so many existing businesses. There'll be people who like rebuild because there's so many places where you use stuff just because there's nothing else available. Like if you want to play poker with your friends, you can't, I don't even know a way you could play it outside of being in person or sitting. I don't know outside of being in person how you could do it in a way that was like provably fair without getting raked by somebody or where it's not transparent.
You have to get everybody to get on the same exact platform and like agree to their rules and their system, when now you can just build your own.
Yeah, you can cut the middleman out of like
and be
anything.
The house and share the wealth amongst your friends. Yeah.
And cut out even Discord and Telegram. Like there's so many creators that have huge Discords and Telegrams. They're very vulnerable to getting banned. There's so many, it's expensive in some cases to have these platforms. You have to pay every month and then you don't have control over it. They take significant fees for memberships. It's all on credit cards. You can get chargebacks.
Can get censored.
Yeah, and you have to deal with bots because Discord server is just infected with bots. If you can make your own app on Caffeine AI, you shouldn't have to deal with hardly any bots on it. It's like people don't realize what a big deal this is. This is like
they don't.
I think
I don't even realize the full extent of the potential. It's great.
Yeah, this seems like the biggest AI area where it's like AI now is a game changer because I know for me being able to generate my own graphics is a game changer, but that just plugs into what I could already do. Like Caffeine AI is like you literally now can just all these apps on your phone. You don't need most of them anymore. You can just make your own version of it. You can make your own hyper local social media and invite everybody to it and own all of it yourself. Like
that's the kicker.
This is a game changer.
That's the biggest game changer that most people don't even realize. Like we don't own any of the stuff on Web 2, on X, Facebook, Google Drive, etc. Like they own it all. So now we will own it all end to end and have custody over it. So such a game changer.
It is exciting, man. I wonder though if there's going to be fighting back against it because lots of times when there's breakthrough tech, people don't sit there quietly and just praise it. It's like I picture somebody making some really nefarious app on Caffeine AI and then being like, ooh, look what they're doing with this. And then using that to FUD it. And then the narrative is, people are doing these horrible things on ICP with Caffeine AI. I wonder.
Scary thought.
I mean, if I was trying to attack something like this, that's how I'd do it. Is I'd go in and make some horrible app and then spin a narrative about how this is facilitating this horrible thing and it's on the blockchain. They're using Caffeine AI. I'm like, I hope somebody at Definity's considered that scenario because that's. When you have powerful tech like that, there's powerful incentive to try and FUD it or to destroy it. Yeah.
Hide it, destroy it, 100%. This is kind of adjacent with another thought we recently had on a podcast where with caffeine, you could almost have like a business like arbitrage or like a business ransom type situation where you find an existing business that's doing really well, Web 2 business, and you build it on Caffeine, clone it like the Web 3 version, and you're like, you can either like buy this from us, like buy out the rights to this, or we'll just like take over your business on Web 3. So that's another, it's somewhat malicious. Hopefully people won't do that.
I hadn't thought of that before.
But it's just like another new paradigm that comes along.
No, that's a really good point. Like, for example, locally, there's all these businesses here. They can't make a website. So then they spend thousands, sometimes tens of thousands to get some simple website. Like even like massage therapists. They'll spend all this money, thousands to get their own website built, pay hundreds of dollars a month in hosting. And I could just come by and like have Caffeine AI, like rebuild this website. I come and I'm like, I mean, I could do it for free. Like here's a version of your website for free. And you can annihilate your hosting costs. Or you could do it as like, hey, I rebuilt your website here. This is on the blockchain. It's secure. You can easily update it with...
You own it.
I'll sell this to you for $500. And it'll eliminate your thousands of dollars a year in hosting costs. Mm-hmm. Like you could use Caffeine AI and intentionally just go through your local town. And, when you see somebody's website that's, on some old hosting that they're paying hundreds of dollars a month for, it'd be really easy to just rebuild it almost for free with Caffeine. And then you make $500 selling it to them. Damn, this is crazy.
Every Web 2 business can be approached like that, and you can offer them something much better, safer, that they own.
Yeah, and there are people
the whole world, every business in the world, like we can take this to.
Well, especially there's so many websites that are just simple that you could just remake it with Caffeine pretty quickly.
And more customized, obviously, and localized for their own unique needs.
Yeah, and that's a good lure. And you could see the marketing would take care of itself there. Imagine if you could use Caffeine and go around and make hundreds of thousands a year just rebuilding websites in your community off Caffeine. But then all those people that are building those old websites are going to get annihilated unless they change over.
That's true.
But then they have like 20 of their clients cancel 1 month. They'll be like, the hell? Oh, Caffeine AI. And then they'll start moving their clients over proactively.
Can't beat them, join them.
Yeah.
Quicker the better. Yeah.
This Caffeine is exciting. I'm glad. It's nice to talk with somebody else who sees it because... you listen to like James Allen, he's fudding it, about how it's not working.
I'm like, James.
Yeah, I love James.
I love James too.
I watched a bunch of his videos, but I watch him on Caffeine AI and I'm like, I'm not sure how you're not seeing this. Like, I'm having unless this gets blatantly attacked, which it probably will. Like just in terms of the technical functionality, like this is massive. Like what it does is so huge. Massive.
Well, it pays to be the contrarian at times, I feel like, right? It
does.
And so I can't blame them. And also we need people that are being the contrarians.
You need people like me.
That's right. I respect it. So, but I'm with you, man. It's really refreshing to see someone or to talk with someone who's on the same wavelength about it and who's as excited about it. But it's going to be like, I feel like it's going to be like a tidal wave.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they do the details with it. Mm-hmm. I'm really interested.
So is it in San Francisco? They're just showcasing it to a further degree, right?
I hope they're inviting some important people over there and making a big deal and launching it. I'm
sure they are.
I hope that's what's happening.
They better be, right?
Yeah.
But we don't know if they're publicly releasing it.
No, we don't know yet.
I'm assuming they're not. But
I mean, they're going to have to publicly release it at some point.
I hope, man. Yeah. They're getting all the pieces in line, and I'm sure they're getting all the red tape situated and, get in position.
I hope so. Yeah. Like, man, I was thinking like, I need to come in. Yeah, it has. But it'll be such a great story with ICP when you get Caffeine AI and you see like, this is what real blockchain tech can do. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, oh, this is why the tech matters. Because you couldn't do this with another blockchain. You couldn't do this without blockchain. This is why the tech matters.
That's right.
All right, now this all makes sense.
Been very
Yeah.
worth the wait.
Yeah, some people are like, oh, ICP can't hit $1,000. It might get 50, $100. I'm like, most of the time, life tells us when you're in a situation where you are artificially suppressed. You know, for some reason, I'm thinking of the church here and how they repress their sexuality. You know, you see people going nuts.
That's what's natural.
Yeah, I was listening to this documentary called A Century of Self, and they went and interviewed these nuns, and the nuns, you know, somebody introduced them to sex, and it destroyed the whole nunnery. Like, the nunnery closed because the nuns all hadn't been having sex, and all of a sudden they're, you know, hitting on each other, picking each other up, hooking up, and I'm like, I know.
Wow. I meant to ask you about that documentary. I heard you shout it out on one of your videos, and so yeah.
I mean, ICP could be like that. Like, we've got no action for a long time, and when we've
been celibate.
I know ICP's been celibate. When you introduce some raw excitement, some new people coming in, like most of the people who even found out about ICP been through me fudding other coins, who then found ICP. Because like none of the bigger creators talk about it because they don't get paid to talk about it, and they're in bag
starting to talk about it.
You're seeing a few come around.
Few are coming around. Mario, Nafal.
Yeah, I saw Mario's post. Yeah, that guy's millions of followers on X. And he did a dedicated post to ICP. It's like when y'all see that, yeah,
imagine with the hubs.
Yeah, apparently. Imagine it could be really. What I've noticed is sometimes when you've been suppressed and waiting, like with Bitcoin, I could not even comprehend Bitcoin going to 17,000. Like when it was at 1,700, I'm like, this is crazy. It's 10 times where I originally bought it. Like, this must be the top. Sure. Like, I never imagined we'd have another 10 times on the top, and now we're 5-6 times from there. It's like, I've often noticed the most limited area of my imagination is seeing how good things could go. And I think a lot of the current ICP community is limited. It's like, oh yeah, maybe we'll get $50. Even my own mind, I'm like, man, I got thousands of ICP. If this damn thing would just hit $100, you know? Well,
that's why 8-year gang is like the best thing that ever could have happened to a lot of us. Me personally.
Yeah, you can't.
I don't know
miss
how
the top.
I would have. That's right. It protects ourselves from ourselves.
Yeah.
Our limited vision of what the future could be. Right. We're protected. So I'm just really glad that I lucked into ICP right off the bat instead of other stuff. And if I would have been at Bitcoin when you were, like, who knows what I would have done. Or when I would have sold. Like, so lots of good stuff, Jerry.
Well, you're giving hope too, because your journey into crypto, you got into ICP relatively quickly into your journey in crypto. And
very fortunate there.
What I see is going to happen is most new people are going to go straight into ICP. Like, they're going to bypass all these other coins. They're going to use Caffeine AI or, an application created by it. That's how they're going to come in ICP. They're not going to ever have done anything with any other crypto. They
won't have to pay gas fees.
Yeah, the first crypto they're going to want to find out how to buy is going to be ICP. Like, oh, this has a coin. Like, these are people who never would have even wanted crypto, but they're like, oh, I actually use this. Maybe I'll buy the coin.
That's true. It's an onboarding ramp for an entirely new population.
It is important to be a little contrarian, though, so I'm interested.
Yeah, it is.
I think about how this might not work out sometimes, so I'm interested if ICP doesn't work out and we're just in our own delusion here, what would that look like? Like, if, because
that's a good question.
I know if James Allen watches this, he'd be like, don't just hype this up and be positive, which is important. If, and I made videos saying how ICP could go poorly, a few dedicated ones. If ICP doesn't work out, how would you see that playing out?
What a healthy question to think about. And I haven't thought about it as much as I should. Fortunately, I have a ton of interests and passions and hobbies in my life. While ICP has been dominating my life since I discovered it, I have plenty of other stuff that I would fall back on, I think.
So that's good. You can afford for ICP to fail. It's not like your whole life's going to go down the drain.
I know how to make money with video editing work. That's, so I try to stay optimistic like you and acknowledge the fact that I am the creator of my own universe.
Yeah.
And yeah, we drive the ship. So like if you're like, oh no, my whole like ICP's gone to zero, all this time and work I've invested is gone to zero, I'm hopeless now. Well, then that's your universe. That's your reality, right? But if you flip that, if you make the conscious choice to flip that and say, well, ICP went to zero, but there's so much more to life, and I'm interested in this and this and this, and I'm good at this, and I'm involved with these people in my life that I can build this with. You know what I mean? It's all about choosing to be optimistic and hopeful, and yeah.
At the same time, though,
easier said than done, right? I realize that's very utopian.
Sometimes it doesn't all work out, though. That's how I see it too. At the same time, though, in the short term, it can get ugly. Like with ICP, if you're like, what would be a really bad scenario? Caffeine comes out. People who do not want this to come out, I don't think it's going to flop. I think it's going to do well. It may not immediately go off.
You're saying.
I think the path would be sabotage. Would be somebody intentionally makes an app, uses that app for, and then mind controls broadcasts. They're doing this horrible thing on the blockchain with this Caffeine AI. We need to stop this. Exchanges delist ICP because, look at this horrible stuff they're doing over there. And then attack the blockchain itself, try and ban the ICP URLs and the gateways.
Yeah. Like I wish we could ask Kyle Langham this question, or someone from Definity. I'm sure they think about this a lot.
Yeah, I will make sure to ask that if they have prepared for those scenarios, because to me that's one of the. If you look at healthcare, it seems like they actively suppress very helpful information.
Of course.
That would eliminate massive amounts of medical treatments that, I'm aware of it. Many others are aware of it.
Yep.
But they intentionally keep the best information suppressed to protect their own profits. And then you have people go around, oh, we're searching for a cure for this. I'm like, there's a totally free one. I've seen it work, but I can't even tell you what it is on YouTube. Because
I wanted to ask you about that, actually. The one your dogs know.
Oh, well, I'll tell you about that on OpenChat. Because it's literally against the YouTube terms to say, to talk about it. Because that's, if in that kind of a system, ICP may get the same kind of treatment because it's that threatening. I hope that doesn't happen. But
hopefully all the good examples are so greatly outweigh the negatives that it'll speak for itself.
Well, it comes down to us. It's like, are you a group thinker or are you an individual thinker? And like the last few years have been positive to me. People have seen the cost of being a group thinker and just reading the emails and believing what these companies and these politicians are telling you, and doing what you're told, even when it doesn't feel right, even when, it doesn't make sense. It's like, I was an individual thinker before that. But a lot of other people have just woken up to seeing the necessity that maybe I should think for myself and not just do what I'm told and believe what I'm told to believe. And to me, it's like a question of, are we going to be a group think world or are we going to be a individual thinker world? ICP is the individual thinker world, not a group think world. These other blockchains are group think worlds. It's like, there's no substance. They're just a cult. So I hope we see the positive scenario with ICP, but I am not deluding myself like this. This could go poorly for all of us.
And we should all have a backup plan. And, I appreciate you helping us think about this and posing the question,
Well, this is what we may have to deal with. Like you'd think, oh, caffeine is just going to go great. It's like you might wish for days when ICP was just irrelevant instead of getting viciously attacked. I mean, the FUD and the price manipulation to me were intentional manufactured FUD. But we could have a manufactured pump too. The other way you could do it would be to everybody loads up on ICP discreetly now. Then when caffeine comes out, all the people who are already loaded push it sky high and then, way too high, and then they dump. and all retail gets stuck buying ICP like in the thousands, and then it dumps back to like hundreds, and ICP rugs again. Like that could happen, but I'm prepared for that scenario. Very well prepared for that one.
Time will tell, huh?
Yeah, that's if it's gonna be a negative scenario, at least in the short term, that's the one I'm aiming for. Like I'm at least gonna sell a whole lot, and I'll be making thousands a day in rewards if that scenario plays out.
Let's go. Man, I wanted to commend your last motivational video.
Which one was that?
Video. The one that's like, you can't watch this video unless...
Oh, all right, yeah.
I won't give the spoiler alert away, but no, that was really refreshing and inspiring, and I love that your message is to help people, or your mission rather, is to help people wake up and stay awake. And that's my mission too. And that's a lot of our mission, I'm sure. And I just feel like that's the frequency we need to be like getting out to the world, inspiring people, encouraging people, motivating people. And you do that really well. So thanks for doing that. You've inspired me to do some of that on my own.
Well, thank you.
I just want to make that clear. Thank you.
That makes sense why we'd be here. We're on the same mission. Yeah, to me, ICP is the awakened blockchain. All the other ones are sleeper chains. Zombie chains.
We're a little biased, but that's okay.
Yeah, and it could change. ICP might be the sleeper chain in the future if it's heavily adopted.
Well, and there's different factions within ICP,
Yeah, there are.
Degrees of values and awakeness, and that's okay. That's a beautiful thing. This is the world, So, yeah, what else we got? I appreciate you having me on, man.
Yeah, I'm like, have we talked Chris out yet? I've been streaming for 3 hours. I'm like, man, I still have stuff to say. I'm like,
you're a machine.
Sometimes you just got to go into, yesterday I streamed 4.5 hours. I'm like, I finally ran out of shit to say. We're going to turn this off now. It's like,
what are you mostly streaming on these days?
I played.
Every day is different.
Yeah, what I see is needs to be number one priority is fun.
Let's go.
That's where I've most gotten off track, and in order to have fun, I cannot optimize, at least in terms of content, because where I've gotten in optimizing has been my downfall.
What do you mean by that? In order to have fun, you cannot optimize?
So optimizing often involves picking a niche, trying to be a specific kind of person, focusing on one particular business, like selling Udemy courses, being a Facebook gamer, just being a crypto YouTuber, just making music, all of which, at one point I'm like, that's all I'm doing. I don't do anything else. Or I'm starting a business. Like, I'm like, what would have been the best approach to take? Like, the best approach to take would have been to just do a little of everything, have fun, but like show up in what's fun that day. Like talking with you, playing Warzone, that's what's fun today. But I don't know what's going to be fun tomorrow. It might be music. It might be. But over the last couple of years, like I've done crypto so many days and it wasn't fun. I'm like, I don't want to talk about ICP again. I said the same stuff yesterday, but I just did it to get views and get money. So optimizing is you're trying to get your views up. You're trying to make the most money you can. You're trying to, be the biggest deal you can. And that's like, but that's short-term optimizing, because in the short term, that stuff works. But in the long-term optimizing is like, how do I film my videos in a way so that 10 years from now, I haven't basically just wasted my time? Or how do I do things so I'm not going to get banned, demonetized, or burnt out? Because to me, between the three of those, I don't get burnt out when I show up. I'm like, today, and sometimes it's annoying. I'm like, I know it's stupid in so many ways, but I just want to go out there and play Warzone casuals today. Warzone solos and just shoot bots, and then somebody hacking kills me in the, at the end of the game, I get second place. But my mind is like, this is so stupid. This is a waste of your time. All your Warzone people are gone. You should be making crypto videos. If you just review, look at Chris. He found that Litecoin video. Make 10 Litecoin, make 10 videos like that today, and then do a Chris live stream. Like that'd be the optimized, you're going to get more views approach.
Right.
It's like, how many coins do I need to review? I
Can't
don't
live your life that way.
Yeah, I don't want to review coins today. I want to talk with Chris and play Warzone. That's what I want to do.
Keep it real. Maybe jam. I'd love to do a collab on some music sometime.
Oh yeah, I could probably just zoom you in. We get the beat going.
I wonder if we could, work out the latency there. But or like if you make a track and I could like put guitar on it, or vice versa. Maybe I could come up with some. I'm not really a beat guy, but I play guitar and keyboard and sing, so I could like lay down some guitar or some keys for you.
Yeah, you lay down something
or whatever.
I could work with it.
That'd be fun, man. Some ICP jams.
Yeah, I've done a bunch of
I really love
ICP ones.
363. It's like a rave song, track number 363.
Oh, the dance one?
The dance one. That was banging. I really enjoyed it. The synth was like cutting through, and it just felt really good. It sounded so good.
Which one is that? Let me
So
look
I wanted
at
to
it.
shout that out. And it's just hilarious too, because it reminded me of NFT Loteria and Victor, and how there's only 363 Loteria cards in
Oh yeah,
existence.
you told me that was
just a random coincidence, huh?
That's right. So that's
crazy.
You really helped me by telling me that, because I've often
Nice.
got really down on my music, because out of everything I do, the music has some of the worst watch time, the worst click-through rates. But out of all the stuff I've created, the music is often what I listen to the most that I actually create. Like I often listen back to my, like a video like this, I might listen back at like double speed to go over what we said. And
Same, yeah.
but I'm not going to listen to this 5-6 times, like I'll listen to it once at most on double speed. But that 363 song, I played that, 20 or 30 times.
I played it 5 or 6 times.
Nice. And
You
you helped me with your encouragement. It's like, remember,
it's real.
even if it looks like it gets a lot less views and a lot less watch time, like it might mean
matter.
something to somebody, and it's fun for you and you enjoyed making it. Like some days I just want to come out and do a dance set, but my mind's like, no, those don't get views. You're not going to make any money. It's like, well,
Fuck the views.
yeah.
Pardon my language.
Yeah, damn,
like,
we made it. Nobody
I
said
post
fuck
music
for an
too,
hour and
of
20
course,
minutes.
I don't expect, I expect like way less engagement on my music, and that's fine. I do it because it feels right. It feels authentic. It's, and if it resonates with one person, like you say often, then it was worth it. Don't worry about the views. So that song I feel like should be. I want to use it in an edit. I was gonna like ask your permission.
Yeah, go. You can use any of mine.
Strategically, what would make sense, but it could be a soundtrack to something.
Yeah, you can use
That'd
it.
be cool.
I'm not submitting it to
Thanks,
YouTube
man.
content ID anymore either, so it won't be automatically like flagged for content.
Nice. Okay. Hey, how about Zero Fucks video he just put out?
Which
of you?
the one I quoted?
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, I
thought.
love his videos.
With Bobby and you, and called out a lot of memes, and it was all about like harmony.
Oh yeah.
We're better together, right? Like that's a big theme I really want to push. Like let's transcend the meme tribalism, the project tribalism. Like we're all better together. We all want what's best for ICP. And
Absolutely.
we just need to stress that more often, because it seems like the negative, the flip, like the inverse of that is more emphasized online. So
Well, it's a tough
I just
balance.
thought that was such a good video.
Because yes, most of the time we want to be loving and considerate, and we want to work together and help each other. But sometimes we do need some constructive criticism. People are so upset with my Gold DAO video. I'm like, look, love means that when somebody needs some constructive feedback or criticism, you give it to them. Like I give my
it to
wife
him. Respect, man. It takes balls too. It takes courage to be that guy, the contrarian.
Yeah, like nobody wants to come out there and say that. And I'm like, well, I'm in the best position to come out there and say that. Like love to me is mostly positive, mostly supportive, mostly agreeable, mostly joyful, mostly playful. But sometimes you gotta lay it on them, and be like
right.
with my wife, we have almost all love and playfulness and positivity and agreeability. And then once every month or few months, it's like, all right, this is, you could do this better. You could do that better. You could do this better. And I'm not leaving. I'm staying. I love you. I appreciate our relationship. I'm tired of you being lazy. Get your ass out there and start running. you know, I'm not gonna love you if you're fat. You know, like you need
tough love. It's called tough love, right?
Yeah, you need sometimes you need to very much identify someone else's character defects or problems and help them see it, because like my wife told me, you know, my wife and all my friends helped me identify that my drinking was much worse than I thought it was.
That's a beautiful thing.
You know, at the same time, though, I don't need to listen to, you know, 50 or 100 critics every single day on my live stream that say the same crap. You know, saying something once, you know, if I made a Gold DAO sucks every day video, like that'd be a lot different than making, you know, a couple of videos being like, here's what I see is a liability. Here's what y'all could do better. You know, that's a lot different than just repeatedly fudding the same thing over and over and over again. So, yeah, 100%. It's difficult because we do need to work together. We do need to be positive most of the time, but then negativity often gets more attention too. So, right. It's so challenging.
Working together does mean offering constructive criticism, like you said. It
and compromise too.
Tough love and compromise, 1000%. So it's all good. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we could work together, Chris, because now I've most of the creators in the ICP ecosystem I've done a live stream with, which is great. I did a live stream with Dustin Becker from Gold DAO too, which was great.
Nice.
You know, I've done. Awesome. I love doing these live streams with people from the community to talk these things out.
I really enjoyed the one you did with Aaron Bremser. Yeah, that was cool because I hadn't got. You know, it helps you get to know someone. Right? When they're just uncut live. Like I'd only seen his shorts, like short YouTube and videos on Twitter, but it was just really cool to see a natural conversation with you. And I'm trying to think of who else. I've seen the one with James. 6 Figs. Yeah, there's some banger shorts from that one. I saw you post. So we love it, man. I think keep going. Keep having people on.
Well, I will, and I love how, you know, anyone can just pay to schedule. Like, you know, I'm generally not going to schedule for free unless somebody like you, who's, you know, creator and added value to the ecosystem, and you know, who I want to talk to because you help me, like, you know, with my music and understanding my value. But I'm open. Anybody just has $300 can just hop in and do one of these too. You don't have to have any existing relationship. I'm just whoring out my content creation here, but it's a great
on here. No, it's
great way to monetize it. Like there's these meme coins on ICP. It's like, if you want to promote your coin, come have a real conversation. I'm not having any people in hoods or masks or any of that stupid shit on my stream though. I draw the line.
Dude, amen.
At that.
Amen.
If you don't want to show your face, which then can just be copy pasted and Google searched to see where else your face is, you know, then we don't need to talk because mine's on Google search. I'm all over. I'm on Invest Answers live stream in my underwear. So that's cool.
Let's go. Name and face, baby.
That's right. I'm like, damn. Somebody's like, your Invest Answers showed you in this picture. And I'm like, damn, yeah, that was 2017. I was looking good in just my underwear that day. It's nice.
That's freaking hilarious. Well, I'll have to step up my outfit game next time we do a call, man. I'm kind of slacking here.
Well, you gotta. I realize like I'm always trying to be somebody else, and then I find stuff that works and I stop doing it. Like this tube top is what got me to go viral on Facebook because I mean I was streaming naked before that, but I was like the camera was cut off right here, so you couldn't see it.
Okay.
But the shoulders out. Yeah, the shoulders out. And the tube top's a nice solution too to have. You know, you don't need this. You don't need to see a shirt right here.
It's the nice middle ground.
But it's like this. I came up with this too. Like I didn't see anybody else doing this. Like I thought of it. I'm like, man, these girls out here in these shirts with their breasts and stuff is not fair. And it's like, shit. I guess I'll put something on like that too. And it's like, oh, if I got a green screen one, you know, like this is my outfit. I thought of it. It's original.
Right. So yeah.
But then I stopped wearing it because I'm like, I need to fit in, not be such a freak, you know.
No, we don't care about fitting in around here.
You got to stand out with your appearance. Like you need you need to trigger curiosity as soon as somebody sees you. They're like, what the hell is this?
100%.
And appearance is one of the easiest ways to do that. But you got your nice, you know, you look professional.
Thanks. It's talking point, too. So
Somebody said in a critique, they're like, Jerry's not professional. I'm like, I didn't ever say I was professional. Did I ever? Like, now you see me like this, I'm not trying to be professional.
well, that's why we love you, man. You're yourself. You're not following anybody's rules but your own. You keep it real that way.
Well, I struggle too, though. I struggle to, with,
Me too.
fitting in and all that crap. Be a good boy.
I do too, man. It's easy for me to say, like, we don't care about what people think, but I certainly battle that every day myself.
Oh, if you create content, you care much more than you'd like to admit what people think. And it's really hard. Or for me, it's taken a lot of work to break out of that and be like, you know what?
I think we talked about that on the first call we had. Sorry, you froze for a second. Now we're good. Yeah, I paid for a call initially just to thank you for all your work and put me on the ICP train. And we just talked about life. And I was dealing with a lot of imposter syndrome at the start. I still do for sure, but like I'm just so new to this environment. I'm new, like technically speaking, I'm playing catch up all the time. And this is an intimidating scene, especially like going into X spaces with like Bobby O and like all these like, big brains that are talking about bet keys and orthogonal persistence and like like I'm there to just listen and learn. And I feel like I'm playing catch up. So like, yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that. I'm just being vulnerable and open, talking about what we talked about on the phone. I think you told me that that never goes away. The imposter syndrome never goes away.
It gets better when you really dig into what is special about me. And I've been listening to Owen Cook, which has been helpful because some of the stuff he talks about that I have done, like the tube top, like I just own this. I got on here and I'm like, if y'all don't like it, fuck you, like
hell yeah.
But then I slip away from it, and Owen, some of the stuff like that I've already known and I've done great, like how special and unique I am. And just like delusional self-confidence sometimes, like absolute, totally disregard, any reality. Like that worked good for meeting my wife. I'm like, I was just sure I was the best a woman could get with, not for any reason, not because anything in my life, just, and he's teaching this stuff and I'm like already doing it naturally, but then it can be easy to let that stuff go. So as a content creator, it's really important to just, almost like delusional self-confidence. And that comes from like, what are you good at? Because Owen was talking about yesterday, he's like, I'm coaching people that are billionaires, that are, really famous. And he's like, you got to maintain your own frame. Like, what do I do? Like, I'm not a billionaire, but being a billionaire is not better than what I can do. Like, I've talked to Bobby on the phone a few times, and I love all that Bobby's done. At the same time, like I know what I do well. Like it's good to feel like you're always talking with equals, and you just have different. Like my kids, we're equals. They do things better than I do.
We're all equals.
What the imposter syndrome is also goes with like kind of not valuing yourself and who you are and making your own life and trying to be like somebody else, because imposter syndrome is true. You are not like somebody else. You are Chris. You're Chris Yost. Like and the more you own your weirdness, like I've done some of my music and some of it has been awesome where I've just like, have you heard the one where it's like a Om dance where I'm like, Om, then hit the dance beat and pulsate it?
I don't think I've seen that one, but I want to. No.
All right. So search, I think Jerry Banfield Om dance. Okay. On YouTube, because I'm like listening to these, I'm like, somebody should put a dance beat to an Om, like that would be hot. And I did. I'm like, this is so good. And I did like one where I was just like moaning with a dance beat, just like I'm not trying to make anybody else's music. Like this is awesome, and I'm making this. But then lots of other times I've done these freestyles, and I'm like trying to be like Harry Mack. And Harry Mack, have you guys seen any Harry Mack videos?
I haven't.
He does some incredible freestyles, and then I'm trying to be like him, and just the whole time, like my freestyles suck, that word didn't rhyme.
Right.
But
just constantly comparing.
I should be making Jerry Banfield music, and Jerry Banfield music can be however the hell I want it to be.
That's right.
Like I don't have to rhyme. I don't have to make sense. You know, and if I'm having fun making Jerry Banfield music, yeah, it doesn't.
That's all that matters.
Yeah,
Period.
you're gonna feel like an imposter when you're trying to be like somebody else instead of just being yourself.
Amen.
But
dude.
that's what's hard is to figure out who is Chris Yost. What is special about Chris Yost? When Chris Yost shows up to an X Space with Bobby O and whoever blockchain pill, like what does Chris Yost have to offer? And once you get clear, I'm like, this is what I have to offer. And then you even get a bit delusional, like, shit, they should be lucky Chris Yost is here.
That's what that's
when
it gets dangerous. Yeah.
Well, it's such a delicate balance with stuff.
Yes.
What's,
ego.
One thing that makes it easy for me, almost nobody impresses me because we're all equals. Now I'm impressed, with individual skills. I'm like, that's, he did that well, or but somebody, if I run into Harry Mack freestyles, now I can be, oh my God, I love you. I'm like, oh, hey, your freestyles are cool, man. That's a lot of work.
But never idolizing, you're saying, or putting someone above you.
Yeah, even people like, oh, you're going to go to ICP to meet Dom? Like, I don't need to meet Dom. Like, he's got other stuff to do. He's just another guy. He's working on Definity now.
A regular dude.
I find his posts, but, I'm like, I would like to talk with Dom, but, I'm going to be comparing wives. Like, how's your girlfriend and stuff, like, because I'm always, that's how I'm rolling. Like, I just look at people as other human beings. And
well, a lot of it's human nature. Can't escape it. Some of it, right?
Yeah.
But thank you, man. Thank you for the encouragement with the imposter syndrome stuff and the reframe there. That's super clutch.
Yeah, like you need other people sometimes to help you. Like you are a good-looking guy, Chris, and that's
thank you,
that's
bro.
something. Like some of other creators are. I'm not gonna name any names, but that's something you got going for you too. Like
that's sweet.
You gotta know yourself and what you have to offer uniquely. I feel like I'm finally getting to know myself. I'm like, you know what? Nobody's out here recording videos while they're playing Warzone and,
in a tube top.
Yeah, in a tube top. Like nobody's doing this. And it doesn't matter whether one person's watching or 1,000 people watching because this is a Jerry Banfield show either way. And
the one and only.
Exactly.
The one and only, baby. Yeah.
And it's like then within you, what is the Chris Yost show? Like what does that look like? What is special about Chris Yost and his life and what can he do?
Right. To be determined.
Yeah, well, that's the journey. That's the fun, is the self-discovery.
That's it.
And your music, doing your music, I love that you do your music because...
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm honestly trying to follow suit, follow your lead a little bit, and I'd love to find a way to... Like, I don't know if it's like busking, virtual busk, like I get on a live stream and play music and then I could like juggle and then slackline or whatever. And like most people don't care about all that, but like a few might, right? They're so niche and each of them is their own like potential crowd. But I'd love to like kind of make a career out of what's authentic and fun for me, like you have done, so I brainstorm about that a lot. And, maybe... Ideally, it would all be on chain. I could have, like, it's too early to stream video on chain, but we'll get there one day. It's just a matter of time, right? And so just trying to, like, set myself up for the future. And I hope that everyone listening and watching can think about that for themselves. And, like, how can they channel their own strengths and interests and come up with an app that complements that? Or if it's a business venture, entrepreneurial pursuits, how can you be getting a position now to take advantage of caffeine and all the benefits that ICP offers? Because there's going to be a window of time where like no one else knows about this stuff but us, and we have like God mode advantages in that window, so for whatever that's worth.
Absolutely. And I think if someone's watched the whole recording of this or live stream, like there's a good chance they relate a lot. And, I love how you found ICP and you're like, I'm going to start doing videos on this. Like there's so many people who found ICP and there's very few who've done videos on it.
I couldn't help it. I'm so obsessed. Still am. But from the first week I was obsessed and I was like, man, read, watch, like ingest as much ICP as possible. And it reaches a point where it's like, okay, now I got to tell everyone. And I'm spending all day like writing essays to people, friends and family, like, you got to hear about this, right? You know, I'm like, I might as well make videos that I can send to everyone. It's so much more efficient, convenient than like sending a customized essay one at a time to everyone I'm trying to talk about ICP with. So that's how it happened for me. It was like a no-brainer. Like, this is what I do for a living. I'm passionate about this decentralized future on internet computer. Like, might as well channel my Jerry Banfield and start making content, you know?
Yeah, but that's the thing. You channel your Chris Yost because like this.
Yes, sir.
This is what you do.
That's right.
And you're out here, and you're in a great position for the future, which is so awesome to think about. To think about too. Like, what can you do to help somebody have that moment you had, like the Litecoin moment, where somebody's asleep and they happen to run into you, and they're like, "Oh shit, Chris woke me up now."
Yeah, man, that's so inspiring.
How you can get in front of the zombies and be like, "Hey,
wake up."
Are you awake? One thing that's helped recently too is coming to an acceptance. Like, in fact, most people are not going to want to hear what I have to say. Like, no matter, unless I'm essentially preaching to the choir and telling everybody what they already think, what they want to hear, it's unreasonable to expect that everybody's going to want to just hear something different and be excited about it. Like, that's, if I go out there and talk about how great Bitcoin is, yeah, I'm going to find a bunch of people like, yeah, man, that's great. But if I'm out here talking about ICP and that system itself,
the contrarian.
I don't know. I've went back and forth feeling like why I need to be, I need to not be the contrarian. I need to be more agreeable. It's like, the one, are you going to, which one of those scenarios, if you're more agreeable or contrarian, are you going to feel out on your deathbed is going to be worse? Like, well, I was so agreeable, but I did nothing useful.
Didn't impact. Right. What was the impact?
Yeah. And I'm not just about being a contrarian, but it's,
same.
We got frustrated a lot because people aren't listening to my contrarian opinion. They watch my video and leave a dislike and like, no, man, Litecoin's awesome. It's like, well, Litecoin videos 50, like half of them dislikes. People come on there and be like, man, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like this shit, hide channel.
Stop fudding my bags.
Yeah.
Stop fudding my bags, Jerry.
I'd get upset about it. But it's like, what do you expect? You think you should tell somebody something they don't want to hear, and they're just going to be like, oh, that's great, Jerry. Yeah. Like, be thankful. Anybody.
Ready.
Yeah, you be thankful for people like Chris, because people like Chris are unusual. Most people are not ready. Most people don't want to be awakened from their slumber. They want that steak that they can taste in the Matrix, and they don't care if there's something else out there. This is all they're here for.
Yeah, and you made that point, and you can only watch this if you're live video. Like, not everyone's ready to wake up. Not everyone's ready to hear the truth, and that's okay. And it's like something you have to learn, is that it's okay. You don't have to convince every single person. You don't have to convince mom, dad, friends and family. Like, most of them probably aren't ready, but that doesn't mean they won't be ready at some point, right? They may come around in the future. So all we can do is like put the seeds out there. If they sprout, they sprout.
Yes. That's my job.
Than others.
Put the seeds out there.
That's our job.
What's crazy is I haven't been able to sell hardly anybody in my family on ICP. Like, nobody wants to hear about it. But then this one...
My uncle's into it. That's it.
Nice.
Yeah, he's way in.
Yeah, like my brother is not interested. My mom, I told her about Bitcoin at 16,000. But I mean, I told her I was buying Bitcoin at $100 and some dollars. I told my brother, nobody bought it. Nobody thought it was interesting. My brother told me to stop trading Bitcoin when it was in the hundreds.
It's so foreign and so risky to them.
Yeah, well, I got my mom to buy $100 of Bitcoin. It was all I could get her to buy at 16,000.
Dang.
She's like, well, that's like 500 now, isn't it? Like, yeah, it could have been a lot more if you'd have put it in 1,000 or something. But then
I'm ready.
This one guy at AA, he's like, I told him about ICP like 6 months ago, wasn't interested. Like the last week, he's like, oh, this is good. Like, all right, well,
No way.
I guess you're ready now. He's like, yeah, I bought a bunch of it on Coinbase. I'm like, all right, well, let's get that off of Coinbase.
Nice. That's right. Let's go. So it clicked. Sometimes it's going to take time for it to click. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it clicked for you.
Me too, man. I'm so thankful. Honestly, it changed my whole life. Like, you changed my whole life, dude.
Now I got a karma with you now.
We do. No doubt, man. You led me to like so many paths that I've gone down within this ICP realm, and I'm just so grateful and excited every single day. It's like I wake up and it's like, what are we working on today? The queue is stacked. So it's been excellent. Just grateful to be here, man. Thanks for taking the time to have me on.
My pleasure. You think we've an hour and 42 minutes recording this? You think we got it all out now?
That's pretty good. I'm sure. I mean, I guarantee I'll think of 10 things as soon as I get off the phone. That's how it works for me. But I want to hear about the secret that your dogs know.
Oh yeah, I'll message you that on OpenChat.
Okay.
Can't be, because we're still live on YouTube.
Stuff.
Yeah, we can't be saying that.
Right.
We can't be talking about that out here in the public.
Can't get canceled.
I mean, it probably could. I definitely got away with it in some of my old videos, but I used to not care too much about the terms and conditions, but it's like I'm gonna respect the terms and conditions. It's YouTube's platform. I'm showing up there. I hope we can get another platform someday besides YouTube or Twitch. So
we will.
YouTube has done the least censorship on me though out of all the platforms.
Good.
And
that's interesting.
TikTok was the worst. And a lot of times I've thought about, maybe I should make a TikTok account. Like TikTok took down more of my videos than all other platforms combined.
For what topics?
Absolutely the most trifling shit all the time.
Like what?
All regular stuff. One time I guess I was making some jokes, some sexual jokes, took that down, being obscene.
Okay.
I said, I was, during 2020, 2021, I was very outspoken about what bullshit all that was. And I was even like speaking in the usual required code. And I don't know, I guess one word slipped up that they caught somewhere and they took that stream down.
Okay.
All kinds of random videos taken down.
I respect you for your stance there, though. And I shared a similar stance. I just wasn't like on the air at that point,
Oh, I was fiery and hostile. I even signed an agreement with Facebook to not say the exact stuff I was talking about, and I just went against it. I'm like, this is
really
predatory, so we're just gonna ignore that. But now I'm like, hardcore. If like YouTube's conditions to me are, I can modify and talk around in a few areas. It's worth it overall. But if the platform is so oppressive that you shouldn't even then you shouldn't be there. Like you got to decide if it's like a marriage. You compromise. Either we can make this work or not. So like, all right, YouTube.
I should probably read those. I haven't even read those.
Which
just because like the terms and conditions for YouTube.
Oh,
just because I've stayed in my lane and like pretty much only do ICP content. It seems pretty safe.
It's pretty safe.
But I do need to, just out of principle.
Well, and I've been hesitant too to even look up rules and laws, and then when I started going big into my meme coin again, I got some messages from people being like, "Hey, you need to watch how you promote this." I'm like, "Really? Yeah. I do?" And then I looked stuff up on Grok and ChatGPT. Now you don't want to be paranoid and over the top, but at the same time, if I can prevent possible legal problems by adding a disclaimer that I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice and I have a bunch of ICP, if that can give me a tiny bit of legal protection and set the stage up, I'll say that. I didn't used to do disclaimers in any of my videos. I'd have 1000x for ICP on the thumbnail.
When you can feel good knowing that you're not leading people astray, like you're encouraging them to do their own due diligence and take responsibility. And at that point.
Yeah. And with meme coins, it's like you can't give a meme coin any real utility. Like, well, I guess I have to watch how I promote this. Cause I was given, until I looked up all the laws and the current rulings, according to ChatGPT and Grok, which absolutely can be wrong. Mm-hmm. But yeah, what's annoying is when you don't look the terms up and then you suddenly get slapped with them. Now, most of the terms are so broad they can do almost anything, but YouTube's only taken one of my videos down out of like 10,000 in 14 years. So that's a pretty good track record.
Which one was that?
I made a video about ancient aliens and I said some
Let's go.
I said some stuff
We
about
could do an episode on that sometime.
I think that was in 2021 and I said some stuff about that you're not allowed to say in reference to shots, and that got the video taken down. And
yeah, we're gonna have some private calls. Talk about this stuff.
And a lot of my
I'd love to.
A lot of my videos I'd been more discreet, but if for some reason in that one I went straight in, exact language, no filters, and that was live on Facebook too. So they didn't
respect, dude.
Yeah,
the spirit.
And they didn't even take the video down immediately. They took it down a year after I put it up. They rechecked it with their updated AI because I updated the description. But now I'm like, I read the terms. I'm very clear in the terms. I want to make sure I'm very confident my content is within the terms. If I'm confident my content's within the terms, I did my research and something happens, that's not.
Yeah.
I can't do anything about that. Although some days I've wished I'd get banned from YouTube. I'm like, YouTube's the last. Well, I don't know. My X account's growing now, but like,
what
man,
would you do? What would Jerry do if you got canceled, shut down?
I don't know. I'd go something in real life. I think that like YouTube's the last string of me holding on to content creation. Like I deleted like everything else. I'm like, as long as I have YouTube, there's not really any reason to just to go somewhere else. Like I tried to quit YouTube last year, probably right about after you found me.
Yep. Yeah, I remember. Yep.
But I'm like, why am I
glad you're back?
Yeah, like, well, why am I trying to do something else? Like I'm so well crafted to do this. It doesn't make sense for me to do it. And there's definitely been times where I was like intentionally causing trouble, hoping I'd get banned so I could do something else with my life. But now
that's hilarious. Sabotaging yourself to free yourself.
Yeah, that's where it comes back to you. I'm like, I don't need to sabotage myself here. I just need to do what I want to. And if I can't think of anything fun to do on YouTube for a week, I'd rather just do nothing. Or if I'm not going to get paid to do something, like, I don't have to show up every day. I should be passionate. Awkward says I had an experience with aliens. Nice. Awkward still watching, still commenting.
Gotta have Awkward on. Talk about
yeah. You're on OpenChat, right?
I am.
All right. Yeah.
Yep. Oh. Yep. I'm in your community. I haven't been on there, to be honest, in months. Like
on OpenChat at all, or on my community?
Just keeping. Yeah. Well, I'm in so many different communities. I haven't been in any of them, really.
I know how that is.
Mostly on X, which makes me feel like a hypocrite because I'm all about Web3, but I'm like spending all day on Web2 social media.
Do you have your own OpenChat channel?
Not yet. Mm-mm.
Oh, man, you definitely should get one.
I guess I should. That'd be fun. I just feel like there's a burden. Is there a pressure there? Like you have to keep up with it and respond to everyone. And not that I'd be happy to respond to anyone that would show up, but it just seems like that could like become burdensome.
Well, you don't have a Discord or a Telegram, do you?
Nope. No, I don't have. I've never like built a community like.
Oh,
yeah.
I've had a fun experience building an OpenChat community, and it's
worth it.
I love checking OpenChat because I don't read comments on my YouTube videos. I do not check comments or notifications at all on X. To me, X has just been such a time waster. Like the amount of value I get and the amount of time I'm on there, the ratio is way off. Like now, if somebody posts in my OpenChat that, I'll go about the only person I'll go look at proactively is Dom. I'll go look and see what's he. But even I forget to look at his posts sometimes. Sure. But then people will share them in my OpenChat. I'm like, oh, it's time to catch up on Dom's posts. So if you had an OpenChat where you posted, like if you had your own OpenChat, Julian just made a bot where you can then pull videos automatically from your channel and post them in there. If you had your own OpenChat, I'd be in your OpenChat. And then I could see your new videos without having to see everybody else's. Like, I hate going on X.
Right on.
There's so many just shit posters on X. They get so much attention. And it's like, I want to, just go like this. I don't want to hear what they have to say. I don't need to hear, they're just writing to get attention. Awkward says, I love Chris's honesty. Me too.
100%. Oh, right on. Yeah,
But I look at stuff on
policy.
X and I'll upload my videos there, but I watch videos on YouTube and I mostly use the subscriptions or search. So I don't use the home feed that much. So
I like your strategy.
I'm a Nazi with my time. It's like this time I was putting into X is so wasteful. That's why the ICP hubs, I guess I pissed them off because they're like, you want to come on this X space? I'm like, you ain't paying me to go on this X space. No. Like I went on 1 or 2 of them for free and I'm like, this is a waste of my time. I don't get like anything from doing this. You get promoting the ICP hubs. Like nobody discovers me from an ICP
What about,
hub.
oh, really? You sure? You're not getting exposure to new...
Because everybody already knows me.
Yeah, I mean...
So I don't need to do ICP hub stuff.
Until we like flip that threshold where it's all new people coming in,
Well, I'm on top of that.
Hopefully that's caffeine.
They're gonna find me when they search ICP.
Dynamics might change at that point.
Yeah, I pissed the ICP hubs off and they stopped inviting me to stuff because I kept saying no. I'm like, I'm not gonna show up for an hour on some stupid X space talk with people I mostly don't care to listen to or talk with, and I get 3 minutes to talk. No, not doing that.
Yeah. That's fair. I think it is mostly volunteer based. Like I was named an ambassador for the US hub.
Oh,
ICP
nice.
hub, which is cool. It's we're like still figuring out what that means, and it's different for every ambassador, right? But it's entirely volunteer based.
You don't get paid anything. Some of these chains
actually flew to Vegas like on my own dime to hang out with them, and it was so worth it. I'm so glad I did. It was a blast. But it's volunteer based, yeah. And a lot of people just assume that we're getting paid because we're ambassadors, right? It's like quite the opposite.
Yeah, I bet they pay the Caspa ambassadors pretty well.
I wonder.
They better pay
I'm just thrilled to be a part of I'm just thrilled to be like talking with these people, and in Vegas I got to meet Kyle Langham and Lamesh, and that was super cool. Anyways, yeah. I see why it might not be worth your time to jump in the spaces, but like it just depends on everyone's position. For me, it's worth it because it's like it's probably entirely new people I'm reaching, so it's all about position.
Well, if it's fun for you, then that's one thing. Like for me,
and it's fun, right?
Going up on an X space where you got 3 minutes talk's not fun. When I got my own show and I can talk damn near uninterrupted unless I have somebody on for 5 hours straight. Like I don't see why I'd take an hour of my time to talk for 3 minutes to people who are here as something bigger when I can talk to my people for 5 hours.
Can't put a time cap on Jerry Banfield.
No, it's hard for me sharing an AA meeting. It's like you got 3 minutes. Like shit.
You go to a lot of those, right?
Like 5 a week, yeah.
5 a week. Very cool. I've never had a problem with alcohol, but I just I know you're doing good work. I know you're doing good work for those people and encouraging and uplifting, and I think that's amazing. It's a really good example. Well, I'm sure anyone could learn from meetings, regardless of if you have a drinking problem or a drug problem. It's like wisdom that applies to all aspects of life, I assume.
Yeah, it's a lot of like waking up there. It's so interesting though with the AA meetings because there's this component of spiritual awakening, but then simultaneously there's this like dogma of, follow God and do what God wants you to do. Like
follow this God.
If God is really that powerful, there should be no free will. And I just like the idea that God has a will and then I'm doing something else. That's some weak ass God. I'm not praying to a God that can't make me do what they want me to do. Like that's a weak God. I'm not strengthening some weak God like that. That's a fake God.
I love it. Yeah. I mean, we're all gods in a sense.
Right? That's the thing we are. And whoever you would worship to me is just an equal. It's just.
But if you say that, they crucify you. They come for you. So that's why I kind of said it quietly.
Well, not these days.
Not these days, fortunately. But you know what I'm saying? Like that type of energy and ownership of our true nature has been suppressed right? Like systematically.
But that's
So
the
maybe
game.
that's what's changing right now. That's the game.
This is a game where we've decided to play. Same as I hop on and play Warzone before this.
Yep.
This reality is just another game we're choosing to play here.
That's right. Easy to forget that it was our choice.
Yeah, well, I remembered that it
Powerful
was
to
my
remember.
choice.
We remember. Let's remember every day, right?
I think anyone can remember if you want to remember, but I remember I was kind of trying to remember earlier in my life and I just hated it. I'm like, anytime I think of the idea of like infinity or life after death, I just hated it because I felt like I couldn't focus on this day-to-day existence. Like it opened this
You're
bigger
robbing
world
yourself
up.
of the present.
Yeah. Well, and it was robbing me of the experience of being asleep, of being a story and a body and just, you're going to die and you don't know what happened. Like it's like a movie. What makes a movie fun is suspending the disbelief. And you sit there and you forget you're watching a movie and you get into it. And if somebody's sitting next to you, you'd be like, it's just a movie. It's just actors on screen. Like I can't hardly watch movies now because there's, my mind constantly is suspending disbelief. Like this is an actor. It's a movie.
Right.
It's not even real. John Wick didn't actually.
hard for me
Keanu
too.
Reeves is not killing anybody. Like this is all in your imagination. They didn't actually kill his dog. The dog didn't really die. Like it's all an illusion. But imagine having somebody sitting next to you in a movie and you're just getting into it, and it's like it's just actors, bullshit movie, illusion. It's all fake.
Totally.
You'd be like, shut up! I'm trying to watch this movie.
Trying to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's how like my teens and 20s were. It's like, shut up about bigger reality. I'm just trying to watch this movie. I'm trying to live this movie in my life. Mm-hmm. That's like, all right, this movie sucks. Let's see how we can change it.
That's right. We can change it whenever we want.
Yes, we are always changing it.
Well, this has been fun, man.
Yeah,
I'd love to do it again.
2 hours.
What's your average time with guests?
About an hour. You're a content creator though, so
Hey,
you can go longer. Well, I don't know some of the other content creators.
I haven't done much of this, to be honest. I've been doing some of the podcasting stuff lately, but it's like spaced out, and this is fun, man. It's good. It's good. I'm like constantly trying to get more reps, so to speak, just live.
Yeah, it is, and I got all
Hanging
open
out, yep.
invitations to all the, James Allen.
Nice.
He's like, yeah, think of me first. James Allen, Bobby O. I've talked to Bobby O on the
Sick.
phone a few times. Would love to do one of
Yep.
these with him. Open
Yeah,
invitation.
me too.
Blockchain Pillin', I've done a couple of these. Kyle Langham, Dominic
Nice.
Williams. Anytime Dom wants to pop in,
Let's go,
he's
Dom.
got
What
his
you waiting
coupon
on, Dom?
code. I messaged him on X. He's got the coupon code.
Nice.
Kyle scheduled
Kyle
one
is
of these.
awesome, man.
I did one with Kyle though. Yeah, I'm here anytime Kyle wants to talk.
Langham or Six Figs?
Both.
Both.
Yeah,
Right.
Kyle's got an open invitation.
And I just want to say Kyle Langham was exactly who I expected him to be in person. He was so down to earth and just a nice dude, like we had a really like 45-minute conversation, just kind of riffing on everything. And just, I appreciate how he kind of became the face for the United States. So like he would hop into spaces and he told me, he's like, I don't have to do this. Like, this has nothing to do with my official role for Definity. It's all volunteer. Like, when I'm showing up at the spaces, it's because I want to be, because I care about what the community thinks. And I'm just like, amen, dude. Thank you. Like, I don't think everyone realizes that. I think a lot of people expect you to, like, be there. Like, you're obligated to be there, It's
I
like,
would have thought that too.
of-
That you're working.
yeah, see, well,
that's
I'm glad I
work.
mentioned it. No, it's like out of the kindness of his own heart. It's pretty cool. So
Well, for anybody who's like, yeah,
Shout out
Jerry, why
Kyle.
don't you be more like Kyle? I'm like, this is what I do. If you want to hear me, you come to my channel.
that's right.
I'll collaborate, and Chris you can put this on your channels however you want. But if you want to,
Thanks, man. Thanks.
If you want to hang out with Jerry Banfield, I got my channel. I don't need to be going on other people's spaces
Yeah, you're
or
set
other
up,
people's
man.
channels. That's kind of the downside. Is like I got my own platform. I don't want to go talk on somebody else's.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
Well, that's good. Sometimes
cool.
I think I
Yeah.
should. Like, oh, you don't be a dick. It's like,
Well, I think you only should if you really want to and it feels right. and you feel called to, you know?
Yeah,
I'm
I'd
excited
probably
about it.
do like a space if Dom wanted to do a space. I'd probably go do a space on his account, you know. If Dom's like, hey Jerry,
better, bro.
I got a platform, why don't you come on my X and do a space? I'm like, all right, can I record a video of it too?
It's gonna happen. There's no way it's not gonna happen.
I would like to talk to Dom.
I think it'll happen.
That would be cool one day. But I'm not trying to rush it. Dom has a lot of other more important things to do than talk to me.
Yep. In due time, though. I think that'll happen.
And get Caffeine AI out, and then you have time to talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he needs. I wonder when he's going to take a vacation.
I know he must feel guilty about vacations.
Years.
He's out here skiing and stuff. It's like I should be at the office. So all the rest of us like, yeah, you should be at the office. Out here skiing, and Caffeine AI is not finished.
Oh, has he been skiing?
I've seen some pictures of him. He posts some pictures skiing, but no,
okay.
you should take vacations, think clearly, clear your mind.
Yeah, and enjoy your life.
And then get back to work, though, because we're all waiting on this.
That's right.
My portfolio is, was waiting on you.
Mm-hmm. Soon.
And Chris, more Chris is out there with his videos, too. Well, to me, it's like this big network and critical mass, too. Like, I think we're a year or two away from ICP really going off. Hey, Summer's Painting. Thank you for the $5 super chat on the YouTube horizontal saying, let's go. ICP's going to over $1,000. Thank you for the super chat. And follow Chris Yost if you haven't already. That's who we're talking with.
Thanks, Jerry.
Yes.
This has been great, man.
Are you had enough, Chris?
I'm dog sitting this weekend, and my partner's dog, Ellie's just been hanging out in the other room. I probably should let her out and need to feed her and stuff. But we've covered a lot of ground. I'm wondering if there's anything else we missed.
It'd be better to think of it now than to think of it later, right?
Well, we could do another call, right?
Yeah, we'll definitely do another call. Anything... So this is I want to do... So do you also... Like, what's your career, job, money situation like now? Like how much?
Yep. I make most of my money editing corporate videos. I specialize in like on-site editing for like sales meetings or events. So we'll like have a camera crew running around filming the event every day, and they're passing me media cards. I'm downloading the footage and editing the stuff in real time, and then we like make a recap video that plays at the event.
Also, this is like
that's kind of my bread and butter,
a passion project.
That's how I pay the bills. This is entirely passion project.
Nice, and except for Gold DAO and Cloud.
Except for Gold DAO, and yes, Bobby has given me some Cloud for some of my contributions there, and it's much appreciated. Didn't expect or ask for that. I started just volunteering there too. But yeah, Gold DAO, I saw as an opportunity to maybe monetize for the first time, right? Because I figured that they have somewhat of a treasury, at least.
They do.
A lot of these other projects that are more grassroots and they don't have much to work with for content. So, yeah, it was a bit of a trial process doing the proposal for Gold DAO. But other than the 2 videos I've done for them, I got $250 worth of Gold DAO at the time. And then it's crazy timing the pricing on that, because you could put the proposal in and then the price dumps the next day. And it's like, oh, I just spent 19 hours on the video and got paid like what I thought was going to be 250, which was a great deal. It's now 150. That's a new dynamic. But anyways, the rest has been entirely voluntary and for the love.
Well, that's nice, Chris. And you deserve to have people following you and watching your videos when you're doing all this out of love. Sir. And see, that's a great thing that Gold DAO is giving you your very first sponsored ICP content. That's them doing a good job. I'm proud of them for doing that.
I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and I think they would love to have to partner with you more as well. I think it's just figuring out the right, like whether it's a la carte versus
I'm down for a la carte. Anybody wants to pay me, just hit me up on OpenChat. I'll take the money and I'll do a video.
Let's go. I was thinking about this as an idea that could apply for both of us with Caffeine. I was thinking about setting up a website for myself, and we could have users offer video ideas for certain projects, and
that
then
is a
like
good idea.
open it up for like a pledging. So like once, so and so wants me to make a video for JBBJ, and once X amount of JBBJ has been raised or pledged, then I'll make the video.
Dude, that's
like
a great idea.
You could do that, but then for any project, right? Like,
yeah,
I just
so you
picked
could have all
your
the
token, but,
ICP
like,
projects on one site.
yeah,
And you put up ideas, people pledge, and then you
your
can
own
say
ideas,
the
but
creator.
then you could offer let the users come up with their own video ideas too, and then you could pick the best ones, and then
That's
have
a
a
great
running
idea, Chris.
like pledge. Yeah, I think there's something there.
So it'd be a site where anybody could just pledge some tokens into. So anybody could submit ideas. Anybody could pledge tokens, and then if somebody wanted to come in and say, "Hey, I'll deliver this idea," then maybe there'd be an escrow or something in the community to have to like verify that the idea was delivered, and then they'd get the funds pledged. That's a great
something
idea.
like that. Be a good way to promote whatever project, and like all the supporters of said project would be incentivized potentially to contribute to the pledge to get educational promotional content made about the project.
Yeah, and then you could just all
like
the projects.
crowdfunding that.
Everybody could have
Every
all
project.
the ideas in one place. So if somebody submits an idea like, "Oh, Gold DAO should do this kind of video with this," then somebody else could be like, "Well, I guess Origin could do that kind of video too." Like it'd be a place of
100%.
inspiration.
100%. And like multiple ideas for the same project, even like, because somebody might already know how to stake their Gold DAO, but they want a tutorial on something else. They could offer that idea up in the Gold DAO bin.
And then Adam could just fund all of them single-handedly and push his own bags with all of them.
There we go. Pump it up.
Oh, that we haven't talked about
it up.
Adam. So
I don't know much about Adam,
Borovan,
but we can talk
Dragon's
about
creator.
it. Yeah.
Adam's one of the most interesting guys in the whole ecosystem. I think he's got like 12% of the voting power or something on ICP. He can sing, like if you see a proposal Adam's behind, like it's as soon as it's out, it's like 12% or whatever voted. Adam's bought a bunch of the SNS projects up. Adam went to war with the Boom DAO team and they won. I was kind of sad to see that they won though, but I'm like, that was a smooth move they pulled to lock Adam out and print the tokens. But yeah, what do you think about?
See, I'm not privy to a lot of that stuff, but what do I think about what?
Well, we talk about that stuff in OpenChat is where and then the Definity forums. You read the Definity forums?
Not as much as I should.
That's where you need an OpenChat, Chris, because then your community, your community will post the stuff you really need to know about, and then you can tip people in the community for giving you really good info and saving you time.
That's genius.
But then you might need your own Chris Yost coin for your OpenChat community, and
that makes me nervous. That gives me anxiety. I don't want that, man. But Adam, it's just I think it's gonna be crazy when there's like 1,000 Atoms, right? Because really we're so small that Adam's doing what he does, and no disrespect to Adam, I don't know enough again about all these different situations to speak really, but like Adam's doing what he's doing because IC is so small still. But once all the people come, we're gonna have 1,000 Atoms plus, and then it's gonna get really interesting. I feel like because he won't have the monopoly he has, or potentially, maybe. I mean, these are all hypotheticals here, but
yeah, I love Adam. I didn't even realize Adam. Like when I submitted a proposal for Trax to do some videos, Adam single-handedly voted on that. Like it wasn't a Trax team. Adam's like, here's $4,000 to promote Trax.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't, here I was thinking, if Adam wants to have his opinion, why don't he come sponsor a video? Or I didn't realize Adam had funded me on Trax, and Adam probably voted on now the developers on Decide AI seem to have a lot of that one, but yeah, Adam's influence is just all over the place. You don't even realize it sometimes.
Can't escape it. And the Toko platform is coming out, right? He's behind that.
The what?
The Toko NFT platform.
Oh, I haven't heard about that.
Okay, so it's going to be a big deal potentially, but I guess Adam and the Dragons team, it's like adjacent with that crew. They're building their own NFT marketplace.
I did know they were doing that. It's called Toko?
Yeah, that's Toko.
See, I'm
Toko.
confused. There's Swampies and all these other ones.
Right. I'm not really aware. I mean, I've heard of some of the swamp stuff, but I'm not really sure
Drain the swamp.
about those. And then that.
Swampies.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
I'm not
he's
really
coming
the
out
guy
with his
with-
own NFT platform. Is it going to be just for his
Correct.
game NFTs or like other NFTs too?
No, I think others too. I'm not really the guy to ask. I'm like vaguely aware, but that should be a good competitor to DGDG. Shout out DGDG.
What is DGDG?
DGDG is arguably, if not for sure, like in my opinion, the best NFT project on ICP. Just like the smoothest, cleanest, fastest.
I don't think I've used that before.
You haven't used it? Yeah, check it out.
Or it's a
awesome.
website.
Because with Entrepot and some of the other
is
stuff,
that
it's clunkier, and I've always had problems with those, it seems. And with DGDG, I've never had an issue. I've always been able to buy what I want to buy and list stuff super clean and fast. And it looks good. You can change, there's like multiple theme options. It's sick.
I've looked at like Tonic and those other Yumi, but I never bought anything because I'm like, there's no utility. What I'm excited about when I get my website with Caffeine and I have NFTs, there's going to be so much utility. Like, certain NFTs are just going to give you, so much like that you can do.
Access.
Like, yeah, like it'll be a card in a video game and it'll give you the ability to post, and join the highest level chat channel. Like I can do so many things with my NFTs because then it'll all be on the same environment.
That's exciting. And like certain traits could have certain access.
Yeah, like there'll be like the highest level, rarities. I can make them however I want. So and then they'll like, it's so fun. Like I can make a customizable card game, and then that if you have that big god level NFT, that'll be a big god level card in the card game.
Totally. And what do you have any ideas for what the imagery would be, or like design?
Oh, they'll all be some shit with like my face on it. It'll just be totally different pictures of me.
Like different bodies with your face?
No, it'll just be just literally pictures of me in different thumbnails.
Different outfits.
Yep. The
Different
two
tops.
top classic pictures.
Naked Jerry.
Yeah, there'll just be all kinds of different pictures of me.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's why, like, to pay a developer to do that would be tens of thousands of dollars to make something like that. But Caffeine should be able to crank me out all these little things to make my own video games, and you have to like have an NFT at a certain level to play it, for spam control, so you don't have to blow through cycles.
That'll be sick. And yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see like how much you can do right off the bat versus like how much time is needed to do more complex stuff like games and the NFT functionality. It's going to be fascinating to witness.
Yeah, and I wonder how much it'll be able to make it all in one platform. Like, can I make a chat and an NFT marketplace and a customizable card game and a text-based game? I have so many ideas. And some of it's just ripping something off in the past. And then like, I had played this text-based game back in the day, and I'm like, literally just make my own version of it. And just,
It's going to be wild.
I'm like,
Kyle said he saw someone spun up Doom.
I just heard him say that
That's freaking crazy.
yeah, that is amazing. Yeah, if I could put the little FPS on that would be incredible. But to have it all on one website too, it's like jerrybanfield.com/doom or jerrybanfield.com/
NFT Marketplace, whatever.
Yeah, NFTs / crypto mafia. I got some.
What is that?
So it's an idea for a game where you try and level up and get to be the Don. Where you get to be like Scarface but crypto mafia style.
A boss.
You're gonna launch meme coins. You're gonna rug pull tokens.
That's fun.
You're gonna pay off influencers, and then you're gonna maybe I'll make it so like you'll ban or rug something, like instead of killing, but maybe I'll make it to there have to be a way to like wipe your opponents out completely so that you have to start a new character over again too.
Interesting.
So to give it some real you know, like you could be close to it and somebody could whack you, you know, and you have to start over. And then whoever gets to reach the highest rank first will get, you know, $500 or something.
And it would be like an MMO.
It'd be like a text-based
RPG.
Yeah, kind of like a text-based, but there's no, you're not gonna like. It'd be like a text-based interactive game where you do stuff, you know, kind of single player level your character up, but I'll have to figure out how to not have it get spammed and botted. But like you have NFTs to stop people from just being able to join the game for free, because most of your botting is done for free. But yeah, I'm so excited to see what Caffeine can do. It's a lot of pressure for Divinity though, and you got all of us out here fantasizing this much.
Oh, it's so much like the most pressure. Yeah,
fantasizing about having a girlfriend, a disappointing reality of what she will do versus what you thought she'd do.
Well, hopefully Caffeine will do it all.
I'm sure some of the girls will be like, yeah, disappointing reality having a husband, you know, you thought he'd work and shit. Support the family. He just wants to play Warzone and talk ICP.
Did you ever play Halo?
Yep, I played Halo back in the day.
That was the one game I got into hard.
Which one? Halo 1, 2, 3?
2, 3, ODST, Reach, 4, I guess. I played all those. 3 for the most time, I think. Most concentrated period. But I was like in college and would just grind in the dorm playing Halo like for hours, you know.
Yeah, we did that in college
I miss it, man. I really miss it.
We had LAN parties back in the day.
What parties?
LAN parties. Where you'd all get your Xboxes together.
LA and LAN parties, that's
play
right.
Halo 2. I think Halo 3 is the one I played the most of myself. I remember I set up this treadmill with my Xbox, and I was like, I could not, my accuracy, my fine motor skills would deteriorate on the treadmill trying to do like a free-for-all playing Halo. Like, I'm going to work out while I'm playing.
You would stream that?
No. That was
That'd
like
be good.
God,
That'd be kind of good.
07. Yeah.
Maybe you should do that, though. Stream from the treadmill playing Warzone.
I don't have enough room to do that in this office, unfortunately.
That's fair. Okay.
And I stand up anyway, so you see I'm constantly moving around because
yeah, that's good.
You don't want to like lock your legs out. So I'm like, I've constantly like shift my feet, you know, and get stiff anyway.
It's great to be standing most of the time. I'm dumping in my chair right now. This is my sign to stand up.
What kind of dumping are you doing in your chair?
I just mean like decompressing, you know?
Just dumping in my chair. This is Chris Yost, and he's dumping in his chair.
I just came on the show to dump on my chair live. Well, thanks so much for having me, seriously, Jerry, and thanks for all the work you've done, and you've been super inspiring for me, man, and it's just a pleasure. We have so much in common. It's a pleasure to be able to just kind of shoot the shit. It
is. Well, I think, yeah, 2 hours. I think we've really covered it now. I don't think we're going to log off and be like, damn, I'm glad that's over. You know? Nah, we got it all out. We got it all out.
It's all out.
Till next time.
Fresh ideas for the next one. Till next time, man. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up now. Thank y'all for watching. Where's the best place for people to follow and subscribe? Chris, I guess we should have talked about this earlier, but.
All good. No worries, man. I'm on X at Chris Yost _21. So it's ChrisYost _21. I have a YouTube channel that's called Chris Talks Web3 ICP. So those are the main platforms I'm on. And thanks for listening, and I hope you'll find something you like on my channels.
I'm not even sure if I'm subscribed to this.
Oh, it's okay.
I know I'm subscribed. I know I follow you on X. Chris Talks Web3. Oh, yeah, I'm subscribed on here.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the best name, but it's been what I've rocked with for a minute. Yeah, it was Chris Talks Crypto just because that sound like has a nice ring, but I was like, I got to get crypto off there because it's about so much more than crypto.
I would rebrand it just to Chris Yost, because what if you don't want to talk Web3 one day and you got all these followers? That's right. Well, yeah,
shit? I post music videos and all kinds of other stuff too, so that's kind of smart.
Yeah, rebrand it to @just Chris Yost.
More flexible.
Yeah. Hey, Awkward says now it's time for the dogs to dump. That's right. Yeah, you need to have Ellie go take a dump too.
Yeah, no, I've been good memory. I've been neglecting Ellie. Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
All right, my pleasure. I'll wrap the recording up.